me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
Our white whale, Sidney Crosby.
Shave his head! Shave his head! Shave his head!
Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonette, R.A., Mike Grinelli, Spittin Chiclets!
What is up, folks? Welcome to episode 583. We're getting up there, boys. I think we've talked about 1,000 episodes someday. Biz, you and I didn't sniff 1,000 games in the NHL combined. Our boy Keithy did it with ease. But welcome to Spittin Chiclets. Camp has begun, guys. Hockey season is right around the corner. But you know what's always with us? Pink Whitney. And the days of Pink Whitney in warm weather, and then in the fall weather, and then in the cold weather. And Keithy grabs the bottle. Boom! That's the normal size bottle. We got the little Mickeys. We got the little nips. We got the big old bottles. And we got Chiclets Cup coming up, boys. And every Chiclets Cup. And we got a sandbagger coming up. I don't know if we can mention who it's with, but always at sandbaggers and Chiclets Cup, the Pink Whitney's flowing. It gets you loose. It gets you happy. It gets you just enjoying your time with all your buddies, playing roller hockey, street hockey, golf, going to a tailgate, going to an NFL game. It doesn't matter. Pink Whitney is always there. It's always there for you, for us, for everyone. And we appreciate everyone who's out there buying it, drinking it, enjoying it. I just love the fact that we get to start off every episode talking about Pink Whitney and our wonderful, amazing flavored vodka, pink lemonade flavored vodka.
What a fucking intro. Witty high stepping out of the gate.
Right,
You
well,
should be
9
playing
a.m.
in Chiclets Cup.
9
You're starting
a.m.
like
Monday
that.
morning in Biz. It's the week of Chiclets Cup. It's the week that every single year you guys show up and just fucking stink. Every single Chiclets Cup year, I was leading in. This is the year the big deal selects do it. And now, I don't care about you. I love the guys on your team. Great people. I can't wait to see Pender. I can't wait to see Conman. I can't wait to see TR.
This is what we needed.
And then
Wait,
I can't wait to see
I
the
see
Stranglers.
you frolicking around with the big deal shitbags,
Oh,
I am
no.
gonna snap. So
You'll be
get
playing
it out of
tummy
here
sticks.
now that you want to.
You don't want me. You don't want
me.
me hanging out with the boys. Maybe getting one of them so crippled they give me a team secret.
Oh,
What's their secrets? Let in more goals than the other team.
By the way,
What if he gets locked in a conversation with Senior? That might be like 90 minutes. Like he might miss the whole fucking game.
That's what I'm saying.
Verbal headlock. But I'm asking to hear the story, the story again about the agent, and you know that his one stories and all.
Don't bring your lawyer.
Don't
bring your lawyer.
There's not many people who could tell me the same story, and every time I hear it, I'm even more invested in enjoying it than the first 1,600 times I heard it. But Terry Senior, you know what? I want to smash you guys. Keith's team, like I'm a Boston guy. I'm a Boston Strangler. And the big deal selects have been kind to me, but you guys can't get over the hump. And some people may not want to hear it, but we're
You're
in
the
Boston.
new Mitchie Marner.
I'm Mitchie Marner.
Couldn't win it with the big deal select, so you mosey on over to the Boston Stranglers. You're Mitchie Marner of the podcast.
Oh no, I signed for $100 million. I look great. My golf swing's awesome. Oh shucks, what a shitty life. I'm Mitch
Sick
Marner.
tattoos.
Oh no, I got made fun of by a couple people in Toronto, but now I live in Vegas in a mansion, and I'm loaded, and I'm nasty at hockey, and I'm playing with Eichel and Mark Stone. Damn. But
I
guys,
gotta ask you a question, Whit.
go ahead, Biz. Anything you got for me, buddy?
I didn't think we were gonna have you. I thought you were gonna be beheaded at your household. You had parent-teacher conferences that you set up this morning, but then all of a sudden you couldn't go to them because we changed the time of the podcast because I have to go to Chris Chelios's charity golf tournament. So thank you for changing up the time of the pod. How did that work out? And why exactly are they having parent-teacher conferences when the kids like literally just started school?
I don't know. I think I guess Ryder's at a new school and he's kind of starting off things and we're trying to get a game plan for the year. And I don't mind, figuring out and seeing how things have gone in the first, 3 weeks of school, roughly 3-4 weeks of school. So yeah, I mean, to turn down times that my wife set up, I think 2 or 3 different ones, and then saying, you know what, Monday, September 22nd at 10 a.m. will be perfect. I'm ready to go. And then last night at about 9:30 p.m. to get the text, hey, reminder, Chiclets is at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And then me going, thank God. That's one of those instances, and everyone knows what I'm talking about, that my father-in-law and my brother-in-law were over. Bree's dad and
perfect.
brother, and we're all watching football. So very, very, very lucky that they were there as I told her the news. Listen, that's not going to work because she couldn't really explode on me, right? Because she's got family there. She had to play it cool, calm, and collected. But I got a look that could have killed a man. You know those looks? She was over the sink doing dishes, and I was on the couch laying down. And that look.
Oh, no.
Let me finish those.
No.
It was Medusa. And I looked, and I saw the look, and I gave the scared look back, and I was like, I'll finish the dishes. And, but you know what I did?
She's like, we're getting a divorce, and don't bring your lawyer.
I took control, and I emailed the teacher, and I set up a meeting for next Monday. So
Look at you.
That's being a man, guys.
That's being a leader.
That's being a leader. And you
Actually
mess up.
isn't. Because imagine our dads doing this. Imagine our dads going to a parent-teacher conference. It didn't happen.
All I remember
my dad
about
know I
my
went to
dad with
school.
parent-teacher conferences is like, don't tell dad, don't tell dad, don't tell dad.
Yeah.
I specifically remember a phone call one time, 78 Vernon Road, Situate, Massachusetts, and I'm sitting there in like kind of the living room off the kitchen, and the phone rings, and my mom picks it up, and she's like, oh, hey, Mrs. Conley.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Sprint out the door.
What? Are you kidding me?
See you never.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him right now, and I was like, no. And then she hung up the phone and gave me the business, and I just, please don't tell dad. And I'm telling your father, don't you worry. Don't you even ask me not to tell your father.
Oh, no.
And I sat there for the next 6 hours till he got home from work, scared to bejesus. But you know what? Sometimes young kids need to be held accountable. You need to be held accountable for your actions of not stop talking when the teacher tells you to stop talking.
Would you get a spanking?
No.
I got a few.
You got a spanking?
I got a few. I got a belt one time.
You got the belt? Where did the belt hit you? Right in the butt cheek?
Right in the arse. My dad cried after.
Your dad and Adrian Peterson connected for life. Just
What is
whipping
the
poor
switch?
Paul Bissonnette.
The switch, right? Isn't that what they called it?
Oh God! But I made a mistake.
We grew up at different times. Like I'm not saying kids should be getting the belt, but I probably fucking earned it. And
You definitely.
I think I
earned
got
it.
the wooden spoon a couple times from Yolande. Like she
gave
was
you the
like
wooden spoon?
up to fucking here with me. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
did you
blame
ever get
her.
a spanking, Jans?
Oh yeah. My mom was G'd up. She had a yardstick. It was like this thick, like it was a yardstick, and she would grab that. But the worst thing of all was what Whit said. I'm gonna tell your father. And every time you knew he was gonna be driving home in traffic, pissed off when he gets home, and you're like, oh no, please, no. But it always got back to him, and you couldn't hide it. Especially nowadays, the communication with teachers is probably a lot easier. Like back in the day, you could like shut your phone off or take it off the hook if you knew they were going to call. But nowadays, there's no
Cut
hide.
the power line.
Yeah, exactly. Just go outside and just completely cut.
I was
off.
more nervous about my mom finding out.
Were
than
you?
My dad.
Yeah. See,
My
that
dad's
was
a
not the case
softie.
in my household. That
Okay.
was not the case.
Yeah, Yolande would fucking when the wires would cross. Oh fuck.
Really?
She'd just
She's so sweet and soft spoken.
She's
I can't
the best.
even picture
She's
it.
the best. But she's probably just stressed because she was all like, no offense to my dad. Like my dad worked at the steel mill, right? Like he had a great job. He worked his fucking dick off his whole life to put skates on my feet. My mother took a little bit more on, maybe mentally, like with like college professor. She wrote books, so she was kind of the disciplinarian. So she probably had a little bit more stress on her plate. So like I said, when the wires would cross, ooh, Yolande.
And I think there's a part
she'd
of
go straight Aunt Jemima on me, fucking bring out the spoon and whoosh, whoosh.
she'd pour maple syrup on you first. Like, what do you mean, Aunt Jemima beat her kids with a spoon?
No, I feel like my mom kind of looks like her a little bit. I don't know. I just thought, yeah. For those of you who don't know, my mom's half black. She's got that that light skin, but maybe that was a horrible example that I'm going to get fucking shredded for. But thanks for keeping me. Okay, just like my parents would. Thanks for keeping me honest.
Yeah.
Exactly. Held accountable. And I want to shout out my dad, Big Dan Whitney. He's telling me last week on Monday. No, we were hanging out Sunday, and he's like, I got Tuesday morning. I got the season-long championship, Situate Country Club, where you and a partner, you play matches all year, right? And I think you got to win 5 matches to get to the final. And he's all excited. Tuesday, they're in the final, him and his buddy. And my mom calls me Monday morning, 7 a.m. Dad's in the hospital. He had to get rushed to the hospital. He literally was in the kitchen and all of a sudden keeled over, like his stomach, like couldn't move. He's got a high pain tolerance, Big Dan Whitney. And he had a perforated ulcer. It was like a hole in his stomach. Rushed into the hospital. They ended up next day having to remove his gallbladder. He had this tube up his nose, down into his stomach. Hasn't been able to eat or drink even water since Monday. He's doing better now, but God, and then I said, oh no, he's got the match tomorrow. Like, that's where my mind goes, and I felt horrible, but he's doing better. But
what's an ulcer? Didn't G have one of those not too long ago?
No,
remember
Whit
mine?
did.
Remember mine, dude? After my wife got one, sympathy symptoms. That's what happens when you really love a woman. You feel their pain and then you take their pain in. Now, I probably act when I have a head cold similar to how she did giving birth, all natural in our house. But still, it just sucks to see a family member hurt. And so the tube's out of Big Dan's nose. He's out of the hospital. It's great to see him yesterday. But
whether it's
week.
a hangnail or giving birth, it's the same type of sympathy you want to give a loved one.
100%. And Biz, I do have to go back to, speaking of getting dummied in arguments, the way that you tried to say it was so bad that Jans has a member of the Stranglers bringing his wife or girlfriend to the thing, and then for me to just get right back at you in real time, like NHL champions, they fly the wives in for the cup. Like, it was just, I just owned you there. I just owned you. So I just want to remind you that going into Chiclets Cup, it was nice to beat you off the get-go with the argument about family members supporting loved ones.
I got nothing.
But
after a little research, guys, too, we did remember that Terry Ryan has flown in a girl for like the past 3 Chiclets Cups as well. So
3 different girls, I'm assuming.
But she's for the squad, though. That's the difference. It's like future. It's like, I did it for you. It's like, no, you did it for us.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Have you seen that clip?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Future, one of a kind.
For Chiclets party, I do want to announce some party details. Chiclets Cup. Thursday night, Harpoon Brewery. That should be an absolute blast. Welcome party for all the participants. Can't wait. That's going to be great. That's where the tournament's going to be held. Everyone will get to see what's going on there. Friday night, big party at Park City in Southie. Keith and myself's friend Mike Shaw owns this beautiful new spot. Amazing outdoor facility. Big party there. Yeah. Saturday at the Harpoon Brewery all day. And the cup parties are at the Greatest Bar. G's family owns the Greatest Bar. We had a great little shindig before the Four Nations final there. Amazing little spot. So we're all over the city this weekend.
Yeah, Terry Ryan's guests will be doing a dildo show on the 4th floor of the Greatest Bar on Saturday.
Really?
That's not the first one to happen there, I don't think.
No.
I don't.
Oh, Greatest Bar gets greasy?
Oh, G, would you describe the Greatest Bar as getting greasy at times?
What's the greasiest floor?
Oh, second. I'd say the bathroom on 2, private bathroom. I'd say that gets the greasiest.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a solo stall.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone's welcome. And the big announcement that I've had a lot of texts about, the Big Deal Selects versus the Boston Stranglers, 4:45 p.m. on Friday. Let's go. That's
this
prime
might be
time.
In a thunderstorm, too.
Well, no, I looked, so Wednesday, Thursday doesn't look great. Friday, Saturday now is turning into what looks like a 70 degrees and sunny. So you get out of work, maybe you kind of bang out at 4 o'clock on Friday, 3:30. You shoot on over to Harpoon Brewery, have some Pink Whitney, have some beers, and then you sit down and get ready for what should be an absolute war on the court. On the court in Boston.
I have some breaking news as far as the Big Deal Selects, too.
Okay.
Terry Ryan won't be able to be there on Friday and Saturday.
But he's coming
Something
Thursday?
really big came up from TR. We can't say what it is right now, so we're actually going to be handing over the captaincy to Conman.
Brazzers called him back?
Pardon me?
Brazzers called in TR?
He's got a big shoot on Friday, Saturday with Lisa Ann coming out of retirement. So
Conman's captain?
Conman has been running and is in some of the best shape of his life. I know last Chiclets Cup I was criticized by even some of the fans and other participants who are big fans of our show, saying that I embarrassed him about how he came in a little bit out of shape. And when I say a little bit, he came a lot out of shape. He was a big boy, but I respect the way that Conman has handled the last year of his life. He's taken accountability. He shedded a bunch of weight. His cardiovascular is through the roof right now. And I felt that, considering he's been with us since the start, that this was much deserved. So we're going to be handing the captaincy from Terry Ryan, who will be leaving on Friday morning very early to go to this special shoot. And we're going to be giving it over to the con man. So that's the breaking news from the Big Deal Selects. And I actually think it's like very, it's almost biblical, the fact that we, in order to try to win our first one, have to go into enemy territory where Jans has now set up this team. And I believe that your team, what's that old prison? Is that where you guys are staying at that hotel? What's that hotel called?
Liberty?
The Liberty Hotel, yeah.
Is that where you guys are staying, since that's very fitting that you guys are all fucking inmates?
I don't
or
even
at
know.
Some point we're
couldn't even fly one of my best players' wives in. I don't even know if we have hotels.
That's why they got courts this year. They're going to give you guys some sleeping bags.
Hey, you got to tell Bree now, after missing parent-teacher conferences, that you're hosting the whole Boston Stranglers team, including a few.
Hey, but why is Terry just coming for Thursday?
Because he's a great teammate, and he wants to give us a pump-up speech before the tournament gets going.
Oh, yeah, because his pump-up speeches are really unbelievable.
He gives some of the best pump-up speeches you've ever seen. Have you not seen one of our fucking vlogs?
I've seen them all. They are horrible.
You think you give better pump-up speeches than Terry Ryan?
No, but I'm not a pump-up speech guy. I'm like a sit and listen guy. But
let's see what let's see what your assistant coach Whit. What do you think of Terry Ryan's pump-up speeches?
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always really enjoyed them, and they have pumped me up, but they've never worked. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how good is a pump-up speech if you always lose? Can't be that good. I think most of the memorable pump-up speeches, right? Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Russian hockey team. The USA ended up beating them, right? And you've heard amazing speech. You know, you see Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. It's that inch. I'm willing to die for that inch.
Claw for that inch.
They won.
Yeah.
So that's what makes a successful pump-up speech.
Willie Beeman.
My name is Willie.
What a movie that was.
Great movie.
Beeman.
Great movie. So can't wait for the week. I hope everyone honestly comes by Thursday night, Friday during the day, Friday night, Park City, Saturday, all day, Harpoon Brewery. The weather is starting to look great. I was worried for a minute. And
can I ask G one more question? If Jans' team, or when they lose that 440 game on Friday, they still have the ability to advance to the semifinal round, correct?
Absolutely.
How does it work? How does the whole, is it
round robin?
Is there two brackets or is it kind of
bracket,
a la carte?
one division? The top four teams will advance, and then playoffs, 2 rounds, and then you go to the championship.
So goal differential will play a huge part in being one of those top 4 teams.
Well, I'm assuming head-to-head would be first tiebreaker, and then you go to goal differential.
Correct.
Now,
okay, because last year there was one team that. Oh, there was one team that was 2-1 and they didn't advance because there was a lot of teams 2-1. These guys were swearing at the organizers like they were losing their fucking mind. So make sure if you're coming and you're in that A division, you read the rule book.
Well, I think their problem, Biz, was that they said they weren't told, but then Mariah's like, listen, it was in the package. The tiebreaker
read
rules.
Online. You got to be like Whit when it comes to parent-teacher conferences. You got to be a grown-up. You got to get ahead of it. You got to send an email.
I am a big-time grown-up, 42 years old. Now, is there are the Godfathers in this? That team that worked you guys in London?
I don't think there's a lot of Canadian teams this year, just probably because of the dollar. The dollar is just destroying people.
I also think Boston is a huge street hockey market. Like they have the Southie Cup, they have the Kitchen Cup. Like there's all these different street hockey tournaments in Boston where I think Boston's really showing out here, as opposed to London where it was all Canadian teams.
One final question: who's nose face killer playing for? You fucking loser. You fucking loser.
Oh, hold on. So you can bring him in everywhere, but then Keith can't?
I would never fucking bring him on my team. He's got the smirk on his face like nose face kill is going to be in his lineup. That's so fucking greasy, dude. That is so fucking greasy. I want to fucking log off right now. I'm fucking pissed. You're a fucking scumbag. You're a fucking
sorry
scumbag.
we grabbed an elite goal scorer with nasty hands for the
and
biggest.
not to mention, I've known Noseface Killer longer than I've known you.
He was Keith's stick boy.
He was my stick boy in high school. I've known Noseface since he had Noseface boogers coming out of his face when he was a little baby.
Since his nose was normal.
Yeah, since his nose was normal, I've known him. So don't give me any
That's
shit
gotta
about
be
having.
an awkward handshake for you, Whit. You've been fucking trashing this guy since he showed up in Detroit that first year, telling us he was going to win our ball hockey tournament.
Hey.
And then he almost took out Werenski for a season. Took out his knee.
Hey, Biz.
Shouldn't have been playing.
Hey, Biz. You think it was a little awkward when Brad Marchand got to the Florida Panthers locker room? How'd that work out for you, Biz? How'd that work out? I keep stuffing you in a locker in these little arguments we get into right in real time. Bing, bang, boom.
Yes, get him out of here.
Where's he going?
Log him off.
Is he going to fart into the camera?
Log him off.
Hey, he's flipping right now.
I know.
He's flipping. By the way,
why is he so mad about Noseface?
he hates Noseface. Noseface took his title in Detroit when he had Werenski and crew. And then something else happened with Noseface. I mean, Noseface showed up to the first ever Chiclets Cup and was like, we're going to dust all of you, and then did. Obviously, he hates him. And I mean, I just reminded him of Brad Marchand going to Florida and then stuffing his Leafs in the locker room in the second round. So obviously
true.
the guy's flipping. I don't know what he's doing over there.
He's walking this off. I don't know. Oh, he's changing into something.
He's putting on probably
I bet I know.
his strap on that he has women wear occasionally, but
Yeah, or the one that Noseface uses to bend him over.
the meme, I've turned into a meme in more ways than one. We'll get into it. The meme of me at the end of Chiclets Cup in London last year,
The most viral
now
video
used
we
quite
have.
often.
Most viral video we have.
That's tough for me because I think, I cared. I felt bad, right? Like Biz thought I was like doing that for show. Like I just couldn't kind of stop from laughing, but it was good effort.
You got
it was
people
good.
that don't even know.
I'm fucking ready to go, man. You guys got me fired up. I'm fucking drop the puck right fucking now. You think I'm fucking kidding, Whit?
That has been worn by females that are friends of yours. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Look at the whistle on the glove, too.
Game on.
Biz, I was mentioning the meme.
Puck.
I was mentioning the meme. Like, I wasn't doing that on purpose after you guys lost in London. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they lost. But I remember I said, like, great effort. Good job. Like, was that when you, like, kicked me off the Big Deal Selects? Was that the moment?
Game on. No, I saw it on the internet. I didn't see it in real time. I saw it on the
I was
internet,
behind you.
and then everybody's mocking and laughing at the Big Deal Select. So I'm like, I had to make a big move, man. You're not fully committed. That's what that told me. And then knowing that you already had a backup plan to go join the Boston Stranglers proved everything I said correct. So
That's smart of Whit. I've seen it a million times. It's like he knew in his brain. He was like, Jans is going to have a team. I'm going to go coach this team. We're going to wax Biz's team's ass. And the smirk just kept going up and up and up. And it's all coming to fruition this week on home soil. Yeah, go answer your door, Biz, in your little diaper.
Not right now. Thank you, ma'am. Offside.
Let me
Get
fluff
the
your
cleaning
pillow.
lady coming in.
Real quick, guys, before we
That's
go
enough.
on, I did receive a text message from Strangler's captain this weekend around 1 a.m. and it was a mugshot. And I responded, "Who's that?" And all I got back was a Strangler. So they're coming.
Is he out?
Can I see the mugshot? I think
Is
we
he
should.
out?
I think
I'll send it over.
I gave you guys a little bit of info about the fact that we got Con Man wearing the C and Terry Ryan's not playing.
I just
Let's see
texted it
this
to you, Biz. I
mugshot.
just texted it to you.
Can you? I think everybody who's watching
I don't
on
know
the
if
YouTube
the guy
channel,
wants his face out there, with his arrest picture.
I just told you we had Noseface. That was our one little thing that we had.
that
Guy
definitely looks
tough
like an
as
inmate.
shit, though.
That looks like a convict. Does he have a flavor saver?
He's coming for that ass, Biz.
No, that guy's scary looking though.
This
So-
one? This one? Keith?
Oh my God.
That one?
You got Butney. You
I
got
Ask
get,
me.
when I get a little stressed, I get a few zappers on my ass. That's what happens.
Now, people may
You,
say
you never got a zapper on your ass?
I had many on my face at some point in life. I don't think I've ever been a big ass pimple guy, though. I've been lucky in that regard.
Well,
but I
people
mean,
hold
I'd
their
rather
stress-
on my dumper than my face. So
For sure.
Who am I to say? Who am I to say? We should get to one more thing quickly that's been making the rounds on the internet that I need to address. That's the Barstool Ryder Cup. So I was named captain. Myself versus Riggs, our long-standing rivalry that at this point in time doesn't look great for your boy Whitty, but I just gotta say, just a pathetic job by myself. There's really no words. I don't know if we can put the clip together, the video together of the clips that Portnoy put together.
If we want any chance at this thing, me and Dan have to beat him and Dave to start this whole thing off. The fuck's over there?
Hey, that went right.
Worst drive of the bunch.
Is there a chance I don't find this ball? I thought it was just wide open.
Horrible chip. Horrible chip. That was a money swing. It hit the lip of the bunker.
It's embedded in the hill. I'm fucking horrible at golf. Come on.
That's a chunk. That's a block.
Bunker.
That's a chunk.
These balls are going
dead
fucking
hook.
sideways. When I stink at golf,
That makes me want. That looks so
suck.
ugly there. That's a dead chunk. Went about 100 yards, 3 wood.
Look at the divot. Look at the ball's there.
It's one of the great myths I've been
This
told
is
that he
the-
was this great golfer.
Somebody fucking with me?
That one wasn't a bad
that
swing.
go?
Wrong club.
Not much of a stance.
I would be beating Whitney, right? We thought there was a chance it's me versus Whitney.
It's true.
He's
Dave would have been beating me, I think.
Is that in the water?
Go in the water.
That's
Go.
tough bounce, fast green.
Yes, sir.
Look at Riggs. Fuck you,
way.
Riggs.
Oh, you are terrible.
Terrible. With some head case. You got me
Shut up,
working
Dan.
too
You
much.
stink too.
You make them work too
Oh,
much.
I was brutal.
Fucking unnamed show. That's why I don't even get to play much anymore.
Exactly why unnamed is done. Because I need to play golf again. My handicap's gone up so much, they put like an X on it. Like
That's
this guy
true.
is, like,
They
cheating,
flagged
I think.
it?
Yes. Easily my most embarrassing moment on the internet. I could be doing
All right, cut it. So, I want to put my hand up, right? That's just horrible, horrible golf, horrible leadership. Now, people who are coming at me mentioning how I picked Minahan first. One, he had said I'm leaving if the other team picks me. So I was like, all right, I'll take you. Two, I think he got most of our points. Like, it ended up actually being a good pick. The problem was not getting Francis, who ended up.
Oh,
the guy
he's
was
unreal.
He was lights out. Now
I
let's
left
get
there
into.
being like, I didn't realize he was that good.
Yeah.
So he's always been pretty good. I played with him at Bayonne. I want to say like 3-4 years ago. He's a nice player. And then he's been writing Portnoy's book, and he's been at Silo Ridge. He's a member at this beautiful course in New York, and I think he's been playing a lot and writing, and now his game has reached a crazy level. Like he's a nice player.
Like a 6?
If his handicap's a 6, he's a great 6. He could be like a 4 right now. But back to me. Like, yeah, I didn't sniff a point. The scramble with Dan, we lost on 9. Biz, me and you alt shot. I was brutal.
Oh, dude, I was fucking shanking everything. And then even when we started clawing back, I put the one OB. You had to call the clubhouse. I mean, my singles with Trent hasn't came out yet. I was horrific and fucked up. I was dog shit.
So, Jens, you played well.
I played okay. Which ones have came up? What was the first?
Sask, you and Sask.
Yeah, me and Sass, but I think we played Francis and Hank. Yeah, and Hank was good too.
That's great.
Yeah, so
we
that was a
played
tough match.
Hank and Francis too, so they must have done a good job about keeping their pairings together and not switching it up too much. So they kept with their how do you say? What's the word I'm looking for?
Their rhythm, their juju, their vibe, their teammanship, their I don't know. As you can tell right now, when it comes to golf, now that was in June. Another aspect of that was that I was told that Beef was horrendous. Beef was good.
Beef's great, man.
Yeah. But I want to take ownership of just you could tell why I've never been a captain of a team in my life, right? Not exactly captain guy. But the golf thing, And G gets
Saginaw.
on, and G gets on here earlier, and he's like, dude, what was that? What was that? And it's like, buddy, like you're kind of proving that you don't know much about golf. And I've been getting torched online, rightfully so, but like I don't think people get golf in which like very elite golfers, yes, like they're like true scratch golfers. They're shooting, maybe a couple under to a couple over every time they play. At one point, I was kind of there. At this point in my life, like I can shoot 74, I can shoot fucking 88. It just so happened that it all came like to a head the first round of that tournament. And when I lose it, I mentioned when I lose it, there's no middle ground. Like when I lose it now, I really, really stink. It sucks. It's so depressing and demoralizing, but it's just a fact of life right now with my golf. I'm telling myself that when I'm 50, I'm going to get good again. Cal will be 9. Wyatt will be 12, Ryder will be 15, little more time, I think. But I'm kind of like, I'm bummed, but I realize, I have to play a lot of golf to be very good at golf. And when I say a lot of golf, I mean every day. That's not realistic. That leads to a divorce. That leads to very big, dad-son issues when you're just never there because you're golfing. So it's just gross to see it online, gross. And it wasn't the nerves of the camera. We've played enough that on camera for me playing golf, like I don't really get nervous. Like, I mean, obviously you have some nerves, but it's not like that's why I played bad. It's just that when I go bad, it doesn't matter if there's cameras, no cameras. I'm in a big money match. I'm alone playing 9 holes. I stink. So it was just horrible timing. I let down the entire team. I became a meme. I have a Portnoy video. He's got this video of me looking like a complete moron at Survivor where he was fucking Kim Jong-un. And then he's got this video of me where he would have beat me in a one-on-one match, and he's horrific. So sometimes you got to put your hand up and say, I stink, What else am I going to do? But a great event. Great horse was phenomenal. It just sucked to let down my team the way I did, Biz. I wanted to address
and that's why my advice is always you don't get good to begin with because then you can't let yourself down.
I've started thinking like, God, I kind of wish I never got good because the pain of being bad is that much more painful, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like when it's like in the minors when I played in the American Hockey League with Dennis Bondi. I scored a goal. He goes, hey, don't do it too much. And they're gonna start expecting it. And I said, that's fucking genius. That is genius. Do it once or twice a year, fly under the radar, keep signing these contracts. And there she goes. And we got Keithy back. He was having some Wi-Fi issues, but yeah, golf's a frustrating game, man. I tell you that.
I will say, I mean, your game obviously wasn't where you wanted it to be. You didn't play the way I've usually seen you play, but we got a big match this week. We need you ready for that. But it was also the captaincy wise, I think there was too many cooks in the kitchen, like telling you to do things. Like you got Dan in there, you got Big Cat, you got PFT. Like,
is that the same person?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I meant Kirk, and then so like there was like a lot of guys kind of like telling you what to do and the matchups and who to pick. So I wouldn't put too much of the stress on being a captain, but the way that you played probably wasn't what you wanted. Made for a great video though.
I'll say Kirk was electric in it, but like I'm not that intense. Like I that it kind of makes you a little uncomfortable because you're just like could we just like hang out, have a good but no, there's I think there's obviously a little bit of bad blood there because he didn't get invited to the internet invitational and like, it's like at that point, it's like just take my spot.
But a lot of people like Kirk first overall. I'm like, well, dude, he had like, I think with 2.5 points, he has 2 of them. So like, how can you call out that being a bad pick? The guy played great. I stunk. Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. I'll look for redemption in 2 years. I'm very excited for the real Ryder Cup. Actually, this weekend is nuts. It's Oregon, Penn State Saturday, Georgia, Alabama Saturday, second day of the Ryder Cup Saturday, singles Sunday at Bethpage. Going to be an incredible, and then Chiclets Cup.
Beth's page is on Long Island?
Yes.
Okay. I think Borelli's is having like a little get together there. Obviously perfect for them in foreplay. They posted about, it was at McElroy, chirping Bryson DeChambeau, so kind of getting things going. That's not very common in golf where there's joshing going on before the tournament.
No,
so who are the big dogs and like what's the table being set going into this, just to finish off with the golf chatter?
So if you remember in Rome, Rory was, look up quick who he was going at it with. It might have been Joe LaCava. When
Someone's
Patrick
caddy.
Cantlay made a putt on Saturday or Friday night, they were waving their hats and like going nuts because Cantlay wouldn't wear a hat, apparently because he wasn't being paid. That turned out to maybe be false. Either way, the Ryder Cup, Joe LaCava, the Ryder Cup has turned into a pretty these guys can't stand. They're buddies, but I think that like it's really reached another level. And it seems like the home team wins quite often now. But when Rory and Europe won in Rome, Rory said the biggest thing in golf, in my mind these days, is winning an away Ryder Cup, and we're going to go do that in 2 years at Bethpage.
Whoa.
So he said that originally. Then Bryson came out. Bryson was the original pot stirrer in which he said, this year I'm gonna be in Rory's face more, or if we play together, I'm gonna be chirping at him. I didn't do that before, and then Rory's like, I think that he just mentions me and Scheffler constantly to get attention. And then Rory said, I'm almost positive. I think he said, I'm almost positive something will happen similar to what happened between me and LaCava, where there's bad blood and there's anger which is great. I mean, that's all anyone wants. Keegan Bradley has been in an argument before with Miguel Angel Jimenez back in the day over him yelling at his caddy. So him being a captain, maybe he gets in the mix or something. Luke Donald doesn't seem like too much of a fighter, but the guy's been an amazing captain so far and being 1-0 in Rome and looking to go 2-0. The Ryder Cups, I've said it's my favorite sporting event. I can't wait for it. Being in New York, you're going to have some real shitbag fans. And when I say shitbag, I love them because they're American. They're going to be torturing European players. Torturing. I'm sure Rory will be hearing a lot. Maybe some things that are over the line, knowing New York the way I do. But it's going to be electric. So I can't wait to tune into that. I guess we could lead in from there. I just want to quickly mention, being in Long Island, the Ryder Cup, that is. Did you see the clips of Matthew Schaefer in the Islanders preseason game the other night against the Flyers? Dude.
He is nice.
I think he's fucking really nasty.
Barzell was giving him the double wrister post game too.
There was a tweet I saw saying that I don't know if it was a scout or a GM of another team said I think this kid might be a top pair guy immediately. Now, don't overreact. I'd say to all fans, preseason games, sometimes can give a little false hope into what a player might be that season. You don't have a lot of the veterans playing the early ones. Everything will kind of get going a little tougher, a little more physical, a little more intense leading into the first regular season game. But Matthew Schaefer, I didn't realize how tall he was. And maybe he's not even that tall, but he looks huge on the ice and he can fly. And it was very fitting for me in terms of I have Flyers fans who hate my guts, and I hate you right back. But I've called out Michkov's skating as looking awkward. I've never said that this kid isn't a great player and couldn't be a 90, 95-point guy in his career and super skilled.
He's got short strides like me.
He's got weird short strides. And then to see Schaefer catch him from a zone away on a breakaway, I said, oh.
You might be right about something.
Fans at now? Because Flyers fans will send me every goal he scores. I'm like, dude, you just sent me a clip of him getting it on the goal line, taking 2 steps and shelving it. Awesome. But where's the skating in that? If you want to send me a clip of him blowing by a defenseman wide, driving the net and tucking one, I will go hands up. Mea culpa. I was wrong. But to see Schaefer, an 18-year-old, catch you from a zone away on a breakaway,
I think he's got to go to KY3 skating school next summer, Jans, on
Michkov
in Cape Cod.
Wow, Grinelli's saying, I didn't know Barzell. You said double wrister. He said he's going to be the best D-man in the league. I'm assuming he means in 2 to 3, 4 years.
Yeah, he said eventually. He said eventually. I think this guy's going to be a top defenseman in the league.
Cale Makar, did you hear that?
Did Lane Hudson's dad hear that?
Oh, fuck.
I got a kid on my team, on Ryder's team.
Punching the steering wheel.
Baker. I got this kid, Baker. He's on D this year. I said, you look like Cale Makar out there. He said, that's my favorite player. He's Baker Makar to me now. Baker Makar! I'm screaming it at him as he goes end to end.
How old was Lane Hudson last year when he broke in?
He played 2 years in college. I'm guessing he turned 21 or 22 during the season.
So who is the last 18-year-old D-man to come in and just straight up dominate?
It might have been
Doughty?
Doughty.
That's what
Okay.
I was thinking when he was talking about Schaefer, like the last guy to do that. Because, I mean, in that year, Doughty played on the Olympic team, right? That was that year? Or
Yes.
had he already played a year?
So Hudson started last year at 20.
Wow.
He turned 21 in February. He'll turn 22 this February in the middle of his second season. That's a guy to talk about the drama of contracts as that year goes on. He's not. Everyone thought he'd be signed prior to the season. Maybe it still happens, but I actually can't believe the amount of guys I figured would be signed. Yes, of course, I'm thinking McDavid. I thought by now this wouldn't be a story and a headache for the Oilers. He's not signed. Kaprizov's not signed. Eichel's not signed. Kyle Connor's not signed. Lane Hudson's not signed. A lot of guys who could have signed this summer, like, I don't know. Has it not been different in years past where
but I honestly think it's because of that jump in the cap, man, where and also, well, Hudson may be a little bit weird because he had such a big year where you think he would probably get that max dollar amount that he would want to command. The Bedard thing makes total sense. He's going to say, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get 40 fucking tucks. I'm going to get probably 80, 90 points, and then I'm going to basically own the Chicago Blackhawks. Because I think if he does that, he's probably looking at like a $12 to $13 million tag. The biggest deal coming out of an entry-level contract that the NHL has ever seen. I think that's a guarantee, right? If he does what I just said, 100%.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the other guys, last pod, I was saying there was one guy who's not signed, and I remember we couldn't think of it. I think it's Roslovic.
yeah,
He doesn't currently have a deal right now. Not in the same situation as I believe he's unrestricted, but is he not a name where you heard about 5 or 6 teams saying, oh, he might sign here, he might sign here? And we're not talking about just like bottom feeder teams. I believe the Edmonton Oilers offered him a deal and he turned it down. That's what's being reported.
a 1 year deal, and I think he wants a little term.
Well, Bud, he's been kind of in those like those bridge deals, trying to wait for his big pop, and I feel like he's being talked about as this guy who can take the next step and be a legitimate second line center on a lot of teams in the NHL. And he's kind of that one guy who's never really got his nut, and he's probably seeing some of these guys get these 5-6 year deals at not only good term but good dollar amounts, and he's like, fuck, I'm a better player than that. I don't know what you guys believe in him, but I feel like he's one of those guys that might be getting hosed in a sense where maybe there's not enough money on some of these top end teams where he wants to go play, like actually be and perform up to what he can. And maybe they just don't got the money. So he's kind of between a rock and a hard place. But if I'm him, I don't want to sign a 1 or 2 year deal either.
I know, but dude, at this point, now what's crazy, he had 22 goals last year. And obviously there's something within his game. Now, I've seen him play a little, like look good in Carolina. He had some good, really solid years in Columbus. But if 32 teams if there's not one team out there giving you the term you want, like, what are you thinking? He has a new agent now. I believe he switched agents. But you could say what you want about the player. If you're sitting September 22nd with no deal, like, that's a panic. I've been there. And I was coming off nothing close to what he came off, where you're like, what the fuck? To me, I understand I don't want to take another 1 year deal. That's stressful. It's tough. I think it was $1 million for 1 year with Edmonton. But at some point, it's like, fuck, I need something. And if I go to Edmonton, what if I kind of pop off 45, 50 points again?
Yeah.
Are you then worried I'm in the same position next year? I don't know.
Yep.
But Keith, you've seen enough where if you're sitting around September 22nd with no contract, I mean, even Matt Grzelcyk had 40 points for Pittsburgh. He's on a PTO in Chicago. So times are changing.
Yeah, I think those guys, like we talked about it last podcast, like you look at 31, 32, like it's kind of...
He's only 28, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but it's like...
No, that's the new 32, though. We talked about it
right.
with Avery. It's like it's such a young man's league where they're just pigeon toss you the minute you hit fucking 26 years old. It's fucking nuts.
A team doesn't want, at 28, a team might not want to give him a 5-year deal where he wants that, or maybe it's a lower end team that wants to give him that, but he wants a chance to win because you're 28. You're looking at yourself. You're like, oh my God, I got 4 more years in this league. I got to try to win. I just think that he's at that age, that awkward age of 28, where the team doesn't know if they want to give him a 5-year deal or a 1-year deal. And for him, it's like, does he want to keep signing these 1-year deals when he still feels young? I'm sure, right? And we've all seen him play. I think he's got crazy high-end skill. I like the way he plays. I think he could help any team. I think for him, he's just got to bet on himself, sign a 1-year deal, probably be better off to do it with a good team where you're going to be seen, you're going to be winning games, you're going to be in the playoffs, and then hopefully sign a 3-year deal next summer. But I think for him, he's probably just going to have to knuckle up and sign the 1-year deal this year and fight for a job for the years to come.
If I'm the Leafs, I sign him to a 1-year deal at $1 million, and then just have him plant trees on his off days, and then slide him another 4 under the table. That's what I'm doing.
Kawhi style.
Kawhi style. Let's go. Set up the LLC. Let's get this rolling, Rossi. Come on, baby.
Another guy that could have signed that hasn't. That apparently it's very close. Is Biz's guy Adrian Kempe. We mentioned him. Now we'll see. Apparently this could get done very soon. Hopefully for the LA Kings. But the biggest news in LA for me was the announcement by Anze Kopitar that he will be retiring after this season. It was kind of funny that it was right after, I think it was the day after Clayton Kershaw announced that this will be his final season. And I don't know if you saw the video of on the field as he walked off the mound in his final regular season home start. I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy's been dominant for 15, 20 years, it feels like. And Kopitar was making jokes like, I don't think it takes a little spotlight off me, like in a good way. But fuck me, was Kopitar an incredible hockey player. I like, he's got Selke trophies. He's got Lady Byng trophies. He's got 2 Stanley Cups. He's got the most games ever played by the Kings. He's got the most ever assists by the by a Kings player. I think he's 30 goals away from the most.
No, I think 32 points away from passing Marcel Dion for the most points in Kings
third
history.
in goals. Third in goals behind Dion and Robitaille. It's amazing to think back of the teams that won. They could have won a couple more. That was Chicago's heyday. They went back and forth. They got 12 and 14. Chicago got 13, 15 in 2010, and they were battling each other. So without Chicago, maybe they win 3 or 4. He'll have his jersey retired. He'll have a statue. And I think the coolest thing about it is that this guy is still playing high-level hockey. Like, last year, he was great, and he's very excited about this year. I mean, he said in his press conference, I think we're a better team than we were last year. Some weird signings on the back end with, like, term from some of those guys, CC. But what a player, Biz. I don't know if you want to speak on. We were lucky enough to interview him last year.
Yeah, I mean, like if I ever had a kid and he played hockey and he was a centerman, I'd want him to play exactly like Anze Kopitar, and the way that he handles himself and just an incredible human being. And I mean, just like the way he's able to handle pressure, if that's even what you call it in his world, just so even keel. And even when I was in the organization for the 3 years I was, man, like when I would roll into training camp, like the way that he treated every single person, whether it was a guy who just signed his entry-level deal or whether it's a guy who'd been there for 10 years on his wing, just the consummate pro and in the greatest example of what you would want a hockey player to be. So you kind of mentioned all of his stats and what he's meant to that team on the ice. But, you know, when they drafted him, whatever their expectations were, he far exceeded them, and he should retire a King. And I mean, you said he's going to get a statue. I think like half the roster does in LA, but that's not taken away. He deserves his own big one right in front of that building because he brought them their first Stanley Cup along with Dustin Brown, and just what a fucking run. And like you said, man, it's not like it's the same goes with Ovi. It's not like these guys are backing into these records or out of their career. Like he's still playing at a world-class level. Yeah. If you know, he's the type of guy who should be playing in the Olympics this upcoming year. I believe that Slovenia does not have a team in the Olympics, correct? It sucks that he's not. It sucks that he's not going to be able to represent his country in what would be his final year. Just so happens to be matching up with an Olympic year, but just an incredible human being and deserves everything that he's got. And I'm sure he'll be sticking around the organization once it's all said and done and helping them out in the front office. And that's the guy you want setting the example and setting the way. And couldn't be happier for him. It was it was a great press conference and sad, man. It's sad, man. Like
I know.
It makes guys like me and you, Jans, like we're feeling old now. Guys that we came in with, all these guys are now dropping like flies. Like how many more years do you think Doughty has left? That's the end of that core group. And going quickly back to Adrian Kempe, I know we were kind of going back and forth. I think it was last season at the start about what he would command salary wise. And I said 10 and everybody was like, I don't know, man. Especially with Kopi leaving. Like, I feel like he's captain material too.
Yeah.
When Kempe came in and I played with him in the minors, he didn't have a mean streak. He just worried about playing his skilled job and, scoring goals, making plays. You watch him now, buddy. He's even elevating his play. He's averaged 35 goals over the last 3 seasons in the regular season. He plays every situation, whether it's PP, PK, in playoff time. He's in there. He's getting his fucking nose dirty night in, night out. And when the play gets harder and it's playoff time, look at his numbers. I think he's almost at like a goal per game. He's got 4 or 5 goals the last 3 years come playoff time in the first round. And them losing in the first round has nothing to do with his play. He's been their best player. So I think he's probably going to be in that 11 to 12 range now that they got money coming off the books with Kopitar. And not to speculate either. I keep getting texts about fucking McDavid going there. I'm not getting into that. Ken Holland's there. I'm not going to speculate. I'm living in the present right now, but that would be a nice 1-2 punch up the middle.
You think?
Army said 12 million. Yeah, that's what Army's hearing for Kempe.
I think he's worth it. He's a bona fide 40 goal scorer, and in playoff times, he's the man.
Do you think that your former coach in the minors, who you said was a tough coach, a great coach, but a tough coach, and Mike Stothers had a lot to do with Kempe learning that mean side, that compete side of his game?
Yeah, I think they're like so Kempe, we won it the first year when he came over. He came over playoff time. I think he had 8 or 9 goals as an 18-year-old coming into that Calder Cup playoff run. And then the next year, they didn't just keep him up. They sent him back down to the minors. And those next 2 years, he spent majority time in the minors, and it was not easy on him. Like it was tough. And I think that as annoyed and rattled as Kempe was at times with the tough love that Stothers was giving him and the fact that he wasn't in the NHL, I think that he would admit to you today that had a lot to do with turning him into the player that he has, along with playing with those vets in LA when he finally got up. Like getting to play with Kopitar, like how can you not be responsible defensively when you're seeing that guy do it game in, game out? When he's getting his nose dirty, when he's making sure he's playing a 200-foot game. So I think I mentioned it even in the Avery interview coming up, like drafting and developing. LA is I would say probably top 10 in the league year over year, if not top 5. And the way that they handled Adrian Kempe, they did it perfectly. And look where he is now. That's how you do it, gang.
Oh, so not handing the keys to the castle to an 18-year-old and just letting them play and make mistakes in the NHL and not actually have to grind it out in the minors for a little bit works, you're saying?
Jans, what do you say all the time?
I don't know.
You say NHL is not a development league.
Oh, yeah. I said it one time last episode.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to start saying it a lot more.
I think you say it in the Avery interview.
Yeah. But
by the way, we're getting Sean Avery on today. You guys
just to go back to Kopitar, like shout out to whoever drafted him. Like he was playing at what's the Swedish junior league? Is that like?
I'm guessing that's probably like a pretty high level league for 17, 18-year-olds that aren't in the SHL.
The Bundesliga.
Yeah, I mean, he had good numbers in that, but it's like, how do you know what's going to translate from a junior league to the NHL? And then 2 years later, he's in the NHL. But I think what you guys said too, like when you think about hockey players, like when other people meet hockey players, they're always like, oh my God, they're so humble. They're great guys, good teammates. Like that's what I think of for Anze Kopitar, just being that guy his whole career. Biz, like you said, just never cheating the game, always being responsible, 200-foot game, playing hard in playoffs. Like I remember playing against them. Like he's an honest guy. Like he's not going to run you from behind, but you're going to feel him every shift. He's a big, heavy player. Could let you lean on him. He'd just eat you away for 60 minutes. incredible player. And he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. To play for one team like that, to win Stanley Cups, to do it in LA, like those guys must have been living. Like imagine with those teams with Greener and Doughty winning Stanley Cups there, kind of a little bit before the huge social media aspect where they could kind of go under the radar a little bit. So those teams, envious of those teams. Obviously, they beat us to win one against Jersey, which was tough. But yeah, incredible career. And like you guys said, I think he's going to go and have a great year this year and give them a chance to win some games.
Oh, playing them was a bitch, dude. Well, I played one fucking shift in that
Dustin
series.
Brown.
I was trying to run around to hit Doughty. He kept rolling off me. I kept hitting the glass.
Yeah. I mean, you ran into them like they were just smushing everyone.
They would get a 1-0 lead and they would just anaconda chokehold.
Yeah.
4 lines. They had I remember their 4th line was Dwight King, Nolan. Was Trevor Lewis on their team still then?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were so big. And every one of their D, Scuds was on their team the one year. Him and Green,
Willie Mitchell,
Doughty, like they were just so big. They gave you no time and space. The minute you would get free and you'd have a chance, Jonathan Quick would be there to stop it. And yeah, I just remember that forward group just being so fucking big and strong, and they would just work you down low, like Sutter hockey. Work.
Crazy those cores, like
that's what you
Doughty,
did you hear that, Whit?
Kopitar, Brown, Quick, Chicago with Seabrook, Keith, Taves.
Oh, Brown was
Kane.
so dirty too. Like he would fucking he was like a little Rafi Torres in his own right, just fucking chin down, fucking rocking you. Did you ever hear about those Sutter pregame speeches? How he would walk in there and he would just get down and he would work. That's all he would say, and they'd just be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
I think he wants me to work.
They did. I think he wants me to get in there.
Staying in California, a team who I would say right now has a brighter future than LA is Anaheim. I'm talking, the next 5 to 8 years. That is the Ducks, but it's not all, what is the term? Hunky-dory?
Sunshines and rainbows?
Yeah, right now with their former 3rd overall pick, Mason McTavish. He's unsigned, and he's not just unsigned in town. He's back in Ottawa. He's skating with the Ottawa 67s. Sounds like they're not even close. I think it's proof they're not even close with him flying across the continent, right? That kind of means like, all right, this is not going to be resolved in the next week or two, which sucks. I think it sucks for the team. I think it sucks for the player. I would lean a little bit more sucking for the player only because how many times have we talked about guys who sat out, weren't signed, came in late, and then didn't have a good year? I mean, you saw Swayman last year. I think the year Nylander waited and signed late, he didn't have a great season. It's like not being in camp. We've gone over it many times. It's kind of a killer. You're just not only are you not with the guys, but you don't have the reps. You could skate as much as you want with the Ottawa 67s. It doesn't even come close to skating in an NHL training camp. I don't know. I mean, like last year, over 50 points. I wonder, Biz, I don't know if you've seen much of Anaheim. Like, I might have thought he was going to be a little bit more of a bulldog prick. Now,
he shows signs of it.
Yep.
Good in the net front, plays hard. I think it's probably frustrating as a young player to maybe see you accomplish just as much, if not a little bit more, than some of these other guys getting these big tickets out of that entry level. So that might be the frustration. It is, especially when you're playing in a bigger market, it can get a little bit antsy where you're reading comments if you are like, oh, you're greedy, like prove it more, this and that, where as a player, like that probably gets to you just as much as like not getting the reps and being there for training camp in preparation for the season. I do think that we're being hypocritical if we're not going to lean more towards Verbeek and management side, where we keep talking about some of these teams need to set the precedent where you can't just keep handing over all this dough where guys really haven't proven it to like that level. There's certain guys like who come out of entry level where you're like, oh, what do you want?
Right.
8 years? Oh, this okay. Like the McDavids, like this, the types of players like that. So for for Verbeek and that management staff, they're probably trying to say, let's set a precedent here. We haven't won shit. We're not even close to scratching playoffs. We can't just give this guy this deal. Now we're in Anaheim and then he's going to ride off into the sunset because we just gave him 50 fucking sheets. Like, Matthew Nyes has at least done what he's done in Toronto, and he just got under 8. So if I'm McTavish, I'd probably want like a 2-year bridge.
And they don't want to do bridge. That's apparently Anaheim does not want to do a bridge deal.
But he wants to?
I've seen different reports on what he wants.
I wonder what the difference is in money, right? Because like you said, if he's missing training camp, it's going to be a tough start for him, but you have to be like, I don't know.
So where the player and the agent have the leverage, it's like, well, fuck, man, you drafted him 3rd overall. You don't have a lot there. You have to hope that him and a few of these other guys like Carlson end up taking that next step. Lacombe, who we talk about as well. I don't know, man. Like I would see, 6.5 to 7 million being a great number for a guy like that. That's
what I think too, Biz. And I kind of look at Beniers, right? So Beniers has played 20 more games than him. They're the same age, roughly. McTavish has 2 less goals, and what is it right here? 2 less goals and 6 less points. Beniers signed 7 years, $50 million. So I think McTavish and his agent are probably like, well, I got comparables right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's where I see both sides. Now, the side that sucks for the player is like Quenneville's coming in. You want to get on his good side, right? And that is not something that an agent and player can kind of worry about. Like, we can't sit here and think, oh my God, new coach. Like, I need to be there, because you're looking to take care of your career and your life and what you've kind of done. Now, fans for sure will sit around. Like, Merles is probably on the side of the Ducks. Like, fuck that. Merles hates these big deals for the young guys. Sometimes I think they're a little ridiculous, but I also see where McTavish is coming from. I also
like the way that McTavish plays, though. That's the difference. Like, he's not, I wouldn't just say he's just a point guy. He's a bulldog and will be in the future. Like, in 3-4 years, he's going to be one of the bigger, thicker power forwards in the league. And he might even be there in the West as we speak. Now, Verbeek, I feel like he also set the precedent when dealing with that Zegras contract, where he just didn't fold in that instance.
Who also wasn't good when he came back after sitting out. Another example.
Yeah, so Verbeek's definitely toeing the line here, but I would have to hear what's being offered or what's being rejected to have a strong opinion on it. But I have no problem with them handing over $50 million.
Okay, so let me fill you in, because I just got something here from G. This is from David Pagnota. According to sources, McTavish is willing to sign a long-term deal in the 7 to 8 year range, worth in the neighborhood of $7 to $8 million per season. The Ducks, however, have pitched a 5-year contract worth around $5.5 million per season.
Okay,
to me,
$2 million a year.
There isn't. I feel like, why is he in Ottawa? Like, that should be able to get done, in my mind.
If I'm him, I would say no. I'd rather have a 2-year deal, and then I'm going to make my bank. Like, The inmates run the asylum a little bit more than that. I would just tell them, sign me to a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal. And you're saying, well, the team doesn't want that. Well, if I'm the player, it's like, I'm not signing 5 for 5.5. I truly believe that McTavish and his agent believe way more in himself to far more surpass that number after getting another 1 or 2 years under his belt.
And I think it's very fair to say, like, 5 times 5.5, like, that is not good enough. Like, I'm not doing that. Now they have Carlson coming up soon. They have Lacombe coming up soon. They have Cutter Gauthier coming up soon. So talking out of both sides of my mouth, I see Verbeek also, like, trying to be like, I have to set, basically no shot at you, Biz. Like, I can't have what happened with the Toronto Maple Leafs with all these guys coming out of entry-level deal. So we'll see where this ends up going, but never good for a player to miss camp. That's been proven.
I think the only good thing for him is that Q is a player's coach, and he played. He understands guys want to get paid and get paid early. Like, I don't think he'll use that against him when he comes back. I don't know what their relationship with Verbeek. If Verbeek's like, hey, you got to start him on the 4th line or whatever. But I do think like when he does come back, he will be inserted in where he should be. Q's not one of those guys that'll try to bury him because he sat out a couple weeks. So yeah, for him, I hope he gets the best deal he can get, obviously. Even for Anaheim, like you said, Whit, like their upside is looking pretty good. They got some good pieces in there, and he's one of the main components of it. Probably, if you look at that roster, probably be the guy that'll be the captain of that team at some point, right? So it's like, do you want to piss him off that much too, right? Where he's like, hey, in 3 years, I want out of here. So I would want to keep him happy if I'm Anaheim, because, when I look at that team, I think of him and being a big part of the future and leading that team to hopefully Stanley Cup before the Devils. So Whit wins his bet.
Thank you, Keith. We're going to stay out west here.
I can't believe we didn't talk about our boy JT yet, but I guess we'll get to him before we throw to Avery.
Yeah, we'll get to that next. This is just quick, but Michael Backlund signed a 2-year extension. So every game of his career with the Calgary Flames, captain of the Calgary Flames, 2-year contract extension, 3.25. He's 36 years old. I think team and player are very happy with that. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't see the Flames doing what they did last year. I don't think they got any better.
I think they're counting on Wolf to just really
and he was great. But I don't know. Like, that was a shock last year. I mean, was it game 82? They missed out on the playoffs. Like, I mean, they were picked in lottery. I think we had them as like a lottery option, bottom 5 in the league going into the season. They had incredible goaltending. Kadri played phenomenal. We'll see. I don't know if that's going to repeat itself this year. Like, I don't see them getting into the playoffs. Maybe I'm just totally.
I think they're a scrappy bunch, and I think they'll be in the mix. I think it's hard, man, out west. Like, I look at a lot of teams in that similar bubble, like Vancouver. Yeah, they don't have much depth in the center ice position. I think Petey's going to have a huge year, but they got defense and goaltending. And when you got that, you always have a chance to win. That's the way we fucking played in Arizona, right? It was like we had Wiley veteran D with a guy kicking a net. And I think we mentioned it last pod. Wolf, nice fat 7-year contract for him, well deserved. And they got that Zari kid. They got some good young talent, and they all play hard together. So I think that they're going to be more in the mix than you think.
Yeah, I do too. I think Uyghur too. Like, Uyghur's made steps every year, and I think he made a huge step last year with Calgary.
He was sick.
Yeah, he was unreal. And I think Hughes going to be the same way. Like, those guys, it was tough for them getting traded, I think. And, they're getting more and more comfortable. Hubie had a baby. Like, I think those guys are kind of finding their stride in Calgary right now with Weegs and Hubie. And like you said, too, Kadri playing the way he did last year. I think they should be pissed off if they don't make playoffs next year. I think they're a team going into, training camp, last week saying, hey, this is our year to make the fucking playoffs. Like, we got to do it. No one's getting younger there. So it's a big year for them. And are they putting too much stock in Wolf? I don't know. Like, for a guy that, he's proven, but he's not very proven. But I think he's got the game. I think he's got the will. Everything you hear from him, he's just a dog too. Like, undersized guy, just fought for everything. So I got them in the playoffs. I want them to do well.
Love that.
I really couldn't hear a word, Biz.
No, I made out most of it.
Okay,
I made out most of it. I love when Yan gets going. He seems excited about the Calgary Flames.
I know. I'm looking at their, last year, Kadri led the team in scoring with 67 points. Maybe Coronado pops off. He had 47 last year, had the big extension. I don't know. We'll see.
If they don't, I'm curious to know. I don't know did Anderson, the defenseman, sign an extension?
No,
because he's a right-handed defenseman who's making just over $4 million. I think he makes under $5 million. If depending on what happens with that team, that could be a massive boatload return at the deadline if they were to move off of him. But we'll see. I think the season's going to go a little bit better than expected. In Calgary land, and I think they actually might have a better year than the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, well, that's getting a little ridiculous. We'll actually stick in Alberta, though, and I was kind of shocked about the hatred for the Oilers' new third jerseys. Throw them up here, G. I mean, I look at now. Here's the biggest issue in this picture. If you haven't noticed, there's a C on the jersey. It has number 25 on it, so. I don't know the PR person. I think you gotta make that 97. I don't love with all the noise already. You can't drop the New Jersey picture with a captain, the C on the jersey of non-97. I don't love that. It creates a little bit more noise that I have to deal with. Me, not the players, me. So in terms of the jersey, dude, I mean, I don't know how why is this jersey getting so much hate? I like it. It's a little throwback, looks pretty good.
I like
Oilers, I don't necessarily think they need the orange line above and beneath the Oilers, the word Oilers. But the hatred for this jersey, it's more just jealousy of the Oilers' success the past 4 seasons and going to Cup finals and conference finals and losing to Stanley Cup champions the last 4 years. So I'm going to tell everyone to shut the fuck up. Now, not having 97 be the number with the C on it, I can't say I agree with that one.
The passing of the torch. G, you like to chime in on these jerseys.
I think
usually.
It's unequivocally the worst jersey in the league. I think you have one of the best logos in the league in Edmonton. Like, why are you writing out a logo? Like writing out the team name? No team does that. Write out Edmonton. If you slap that unbelievable Edmonton Oilers logo on that front of that jersey with the cream, that would look incredible. But they wrote Oilers in cursive. At the very least, put Edmonton. Rep the city that you're playing in. But Oilers in cursive, that's like a fucking midget C team jersey. That's brutal.
People compared it to the Regina Pats. It might have been Army in the group chat. I don't have any hate for it. It's maybe a little bit on the bland side, but I agree with G. Like when I see their normal jerseys, whether home or away, I think that is an iconic jersey that should not be messed with. They have done a lot of weird things in the past.
They've had some bad third jerseys
like
before.
the oil drop thing that has a little bit of a metallic feel to it. But yeah, I'm right slap dab in the middle. But if you got to sell jerseys in order to get McDavid his number and bring in a little bit more extra revenue, do what you got to do.
Well, that's coming from G. I don't know if you saw the Bruins, the logo, the B is like way too big. Way too big. So, you could talk about midget triple C platinum half elite teams wearing the Oilers jerseys. McDavid flying up and down the ice, giving Draisaitl tap-ins. I don't care what they're wearing. They could be wearing Biz's jock with his garter belt he's wearing right now with his Butney. All his Jesus Christ. And
why does he have that?
There's a pimple in the groin.
Because I'm fucking ready for Chiclets Cup,
It looks like you need a little
buddy.
shave
Got
job around that area. You might need a little wax job around your grundle, but I don't dislike the jersey.
I told the story before. For initiation when I was in junior, they made us wear these old school girls volleyball outfits and get up in front of the whole school and sing. I think it was the national anthem. And obviously I had been growing hair on my inner thighs, and one of the people in the front row were like, "Nice sideburns, buddy," while I was singing the national anthem. So that was a pretty embarrassing moment when I was 16 years old at my French immersion high school. I believe it was called Chippewa.
From Chippewa to Davenport.
What a
run you had academically.
Davenport reached out via DM. Yeah, they're like, yeah, congrats on learning the moon moves. They want me to like come drop a puck at a game or something like that. I have to read the.
They have a team?
They have a hockey team, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where it's located, but
that's why Biz went to the he couldn't make it.
No. Oh, that's true.
And Biz, you didn't even mention off the start of the show, not only did Davenport reach out via DM, Teddy Roosevelt Museum reached out via DM.
That's right, Teddy Roosevelt. They were fired up that I mentioned his legacy, and there was a few other things. Like we keep talking about, or people are talking about the fact that the Octagon is going to be making its way to the front lawn of the White House.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt put a boxing ring there.
Did he?
When he was president. And when people would come visit, he would scrap them. And at one point he scrapped someone and he got popped in the eye, and people say that he legally lost sight in that one eye where he got popped in, but he wouldn't admit to it. He would just be like, no, I can see it in my eye. But like he legit had blindness in that eye that he got popped in. So the more I learn about this guy, he was just a Renaissance man. And to go back to, did you see the picture of, it was more of a booklet, not just folded up paper that saved his life that the speech was written on. And what's even crazier about that, I don't think I mentioned it, is when he got shot, he didn't stop the speech. He got shot.
Nail gun.
He's a nail gun. He finished the speech, And then they went and addressed the bullet that maybe scraped him after it got through his little booklet that was in his pocket chest. So just a remarkable man where the fun facts just keep on coming.
Yeah, big time. We had a president who got shot and a book stopped it, and he was fighting people in the White House in his homemade ring. And your president's out there, he can't even shoot a wrist shot, and he ruined the Oilers' season at the pregame skate at Madison Square Garden. So, things are different between the United States and Canada.
Yeah, but we're getting a pipeline.
Okay,
eventually.
Fair. Pipeline. Let's head over to New York before we throw to Sean Avery. There were some Vancouver Canucks fans just fuming over the news. Pasha must have just been crying in his bowl of sushi that he brought home from Japan. JT Miller named captain of the New York Rangers. And, immediately starts talking about their training camp shirts, which the letters BS are crossed out. No bullshit on this team. We're showing up. We're skating. We're hitting. We're physical every single night. Teams are going to say, oh, shit, the Rangers are in town. This is going to be one of those nights that we got to be on our game and we cannot be shying away from contact. JT Miller, the man, pegged as the next captain of New York Rangers.
So 2 things I'll say. The meme that people were posting of the coach in the locker room slapping all the guys' faces to wake the fuck up, as in this is going to be JT Miller in the locker room. Loved it. That was the one takeaway online I got from it, other than Vancouver fans crying. And start the rumblings even more. Makes a lot more sense that Quinn Hughes might want to go play with his old buddy in New York. Come on down to Broadway. We never got Pasha's thoughts on that, by the way.
Oh, no, I think we did in the group chat in which he said Luke Hughes will be signed tomorrow. Luke Hughes hasn't signed yet, boys.
You think the captaincy in New York might have changed things? Can we get
Pasha on here, or is he still just with his chopsticks and his soy sauce?
Oh, I'm here.
So Luke Hughes has not signed yet, correct?
That is correct, but
okay.
he'll be signing.
I heard they offered 5 times 5.5.
No, he'll be signing any day now. But Biz, I was listening to the pod last week, just punching my screen because I had a lot to say about this Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes to the Rangers thing, and I said this to Whit off air.
Dumbest take. Everyone, get ready. Dumbest take.
I will take this to my grave. There is a better chance of Connor McDavid playing in the KHL than all 3 Hughes brothers playing on the Rangers. And I stand strongly by that because let me.
You're ruining your reputation.
One has a 0 chance.
You're ruining your reputation as a puck knower.
I think one has 0% chance, the other one has 0.1% chance. But I think the odds of some crazy KHL owner saying, "Here's $50 million, come play for us for 1 year," has a much better chance of somehow all 3 Hughes brothers contracts lining up, Rangers having $40 million cap space, them saying, "Fuck the Devils, let's go to the Rangers." I maintain my stance.
I'm also seeing. No, let me see another thing here. In a Chiclets production meeting that I was not a part of, you went on a rant that Luke Hughes is better than Brock Faber. Like, this is when you're just showing no puck knowledge, nothing of the sort of knowing the game of puck. Like, I don't know where your brain goes sometimes.
I think
how is Luke Hughes a better overall defenseman than Brock Faber?
I think Brock Faber's a hell of a player, but he's not very good at defending off the rush. And I think the only reason he was on that USA team is because of the Bill Guerin connection. I think the world of Brock Faber, but if you want to fucking circle back to me in 2 years, 3 years, Luke Hughes will be widely regarded as a better defenseman than Brock Faber.
When fucking McDavid's lugging it up in the K. When fucking McDavid's rocking a Moscow Dynamo jersey.
Faber was like the best defenseman in that tournament.
Rubles. He's going to have Gucci Louis Vuitton tux on.
I just think to actually believe that it's more likely that one of the greatest players we've ever seen goes to the KHL more than 3 players ending up with an Original 6 franchise in one of the biggest markets in the league is so dumb. Like,
do you message with them? Do you message? Did any of them have any comments about what I said, or do you not? Are you go silent right now during contract negotiations?
I would never bring up that absurd quote to Quinn. I mean, he's the only one of them that I chat with regularly, but I would never bring up that thing. But let me ask you.
So he hasn't denied it.
I mean, I guess technically.
Great call, Biz. Great call, Biz.
Let me ask you this though. Theoretically, if that fantasy thing happens, and let's say KHL team offers McDavid $50 million, would it not be kind of a decent play to sign there, make 50 sheets, and then come back and sign 1 year, like $1 million deals with like.
I think it's
Panthers
the dumbest thing you've ever said. I actually think it's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Is that
He's
dumb?
trying to win a Stanley Cup. He's going to waste a year in his prime in Russia.
He can sign for $50 million, get his bag, and then come back and sign 1 year deals with like the cream of the crop teams.
Tax free too, Whit. Tax free, and then he can win a gargantuan cup and then
legs.
Biz,
This
his
is
feet
so
wet.
dumb. This is crushing our podcast as a source, as a hockey, as a puck knowing podcast. You guys are crippling us.
It's one of the dumbest
You
takes
just
I've ever heard.
Put some credence to it.
It would be kind of sick.
Oh yeah, sick. None of us get to watch McDavid play for
I'd
a
love
year.
to see
Awesome.
him with one of those Russian bowl cuts. Come on, Whit, you'd like to see that, wouldn't you?
Let me see if I can get the best pick haircut I've ever seen in a Russian from my teammate in Sochi. I took a picture.
What about that coach?
So you're basically imagine KHL went full live on the NHL and started offering deals like that.
Well, they tried to.
Whit, if they offered him $100 million for a season, do you think you would be dumb not to take it?
Yes.
I think he'd be an idiot to go there.
For 1 year, 100 sheets?
It's a year. It's another year. He's not winning the Stanley. You think this guy cares about money, dude?
But then he can go sign for league men on the best team
The
every
fact
year.
that this is a
literally-
real conversation is pathetic.
It's not a real conversation.
We're in
Look at this kid's
simulation.
haircut. This is this kid's haircut on my team in Russia.
Dude, the fact that Whit can find picture. Oh my God.
How Russian is the guy next to him?
I've had
too?
worse fades than that, to be fair.
That fade will haunt
Looks
your
like
dreams.
his thighs.
He didn't speak a word of English. I said, just turn around.
Hey, what about that other photo that got sent to the group chat not too
The
long
coach?
ago? That coach's hair.
Amazing.
That was a tough salad.
Oh,
I don't know if we
God.
could bring that one up
That
for
was
the fans at
so
home.
Russian. I love that one.
Oh,
That one's incredible. But yeah, I
me
mean,
find that
to get back to the point, he's never going to the KHL. I would
I
put.
believe
know
this is
that,
a
but
con-
the Hughes
this is
brothers
embarrassing
are
for our
never
pod.
going to the Rangers.
what about 100 million and he gets the Putin gold card for the rest of his life, and it could be passed down to family member like throughout his lineage.
That would go over well in Canada for sure.
This is why cameramen never come on. Oh
Look
my
at this
God.
guy right here. Oh my God.
I was looking for it.
That's
I love
outstanding.
that salad.
That's not taking your hat off when you get a haircut.
That's better than a Ibiza final boss. Have you seen that guy? The Ibiza final boss Whit?
No.
Oh, this guy who went viral. He had the worst salad, and like I believe he was in Ibiza at the time, and he just like this. Like he's basically like a Jersey Shore guy with a Russian cut, like the one we just saw. So they started calling him Ibiza final boss.
I have seen that guy. I didn't know that was his
Dancing.
name.
I want to say they just paid him like $80,000 to do a DJ set where he doesn't even DJ. So this guy's just capitalizing off of his meme.
Nadu's haircut's better than all of them. So
Oh,
I don't care what
so did
anyone
you see
says.
that live stream bet I had?
That was, hey,
No.
it
We weren't
almost
far.
You really should have lost that.
What
That
do you
was-
mean I should have lost that? They tried to talk me into 20,000 likes. I said, no, if in an hour this gets 25,000 likes, which was a post that we were putting from our live stream when me and Donnie were on our peaking adventure, because he always does a full day live stream throughout the process. I said that if the video clip got 25,000 likes, that I would get Nadu's bowl cut, and I was going to throw on a tracksuito, and I would wear that for the first broadcast in Vegas for Mitchie Marner's debut on the TNT October 8th. It got close.
Yeah.
And they tried to talk me down to 20,000 likes, and it ended up getting 20,000 likes.
I
So thank
begged.
God
I retweeted it and begged people to like the post.
yeah,
'Cause I
didn't
wanted to
happen.
see
So
that.
so thank God. But I mean, I'll probably have just as bad of a salad. And
I mean, you're showing
and a
your Grundle area to the entire world on YouTube right now, so I don't think it's too big of a deal if you had the. Oh my God!
Jesus.
Holy shit! Final thing on JT Miller, just amazing that Pasha can't stand the guy. He plays the game right. He plays it hard. He's a motherfucker on the ice. He could score. He could pass. He could skate. And now he's the captain of the Pasha's most hated
But he
team.
doesn't play defense.
Oh my God!
He
He should go to the KHL then.
You should.
Him
You
and
should. I mean,
Davo.
Perfect
With
spot,
that-
Mickey Mouse franchise. So
McDavid
I
off.
think great pick.
He might after seeing those new jerseys.
With Biz, lift the goddamn camera up right now.
Seriously, I'm gonna puke, Biz.
Biz, lift the goddamn camera up right now.
Game on.
With that, I think it's time to throw it over to Sean Avery, one of our boys. He's been on quite a
what
few
a
times.
character.
This was a great chat. We talk a lot about the current NHL. We talk a lot about his teams he follows, big in the Rangers, big in the Lightning. Talk all things NHL and talk about some cool acting news. So always interesting, always entertaining. Sean Avery.
And his new book.
Summer skate. You want to talk about a Rangers player getting dirty in the Hamptons in the summer?
Don't let your
before his
wife
first
read it.
NHL season. Sean Avery and Leslie Cohen.
And have
Let's throw it
flood
over to him
warnings.
right now. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We turn to some funny places for support, but not everyone is a therapist. Not everyone is the one. Find your right match with BetterHelp. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so that you could focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 10 plus years of experience and industry leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time for you. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time for their tailored recs. I think therapy, I've been clear and open about this, has helped me in my life. Everyone I've talked to that's ever spoken to a therapist, whether it's one time, whether it's consistently once a month, once a week, whatever it may be, all the people that I know, it's helped them as well. Puts things into perspective, gives you a way to attack the challenges you're going through in your life. And you can't do it alone. I mean, I think I don't really blame people for saying they think they can do it alone, but having someone to talk to bounce your thoughts off of, to get feedback in a way that a professional can give you that maybe a good buddy or a parent can't give you, it makes the world a difference. So I can't recommend it enough. BetterHelp is incredible. They have over 30,000 therapists. So it's good to know that, you have different options. If you're not vibing with the first therapist you see, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/chiclets. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chiclets. Boom. Whit here with Body Armor. This episode is brought to you by the BODYARMOR Sports Drink right here. Strawberry banana. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like the one I just mentioned, along with orange mango, many others, no artificial dyes, no crap flavors or sweeteners, all the stuff you need to be hydrated while also tasting incredible. Body Armor will be all over the Chiclets Cup. We thank them for that. They're in all of our episodes. How much do we appreciate that? I love drinking it. I love supporting Body Armor. I hope you guys have had one. If not, go down right now and get one. Grocery store near you, Walmart, in a bold new look with the same great taste. Get your Body Armor today. It's the drink of choice for me. It's the drink of choice for Chiclets. It's the drink of choice for Chiclets Cup. Body Armor. Choose better. Welcome right now to a very, very special guest, a man who's been on this show before, but he's never been on the show as an author. The author of Summer Skate with Leslie Cohen. We got Sean Avery ready to go, ready to chat. What's up, buddy? What a book.
Great to be here, gentlemen. First of all, did Brad Marchand go on the record and say that Florida and the state of Florida and the Florida Panthers are a team that circumvents the cap via no state tax?
He actually brought it up, and now all the haters like myself have some feeling of kind of accomplishment. Like if a player on their own team's saying it, then it's true. So I'm glad you brought that up because Biz actually is the original OG guy who brought it to the attention of the world. But when their own players are saying it, Aves, what are they going to say now?
Well, are they going to create some sort of luxury tax against Dallas, Florida? Is that Nashville included?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. Seattle.
Seattle hasn't done much with it yet.
Utah.
Well, I think, Biz, you said one time, like, what can they actually do about it? It's too confusing when you try to figure it out based on if a guy were to get traded. I don't know though.
Well, don't
It
look at
seems
me. I
like
didn't even know the fucking moon moved.
What?
I said, well, don't look at me. I didn't even know the fucking moon moved. So I don't know what rocket Scientologist they got there at the league to hit the calculator buttons, maybe get the Texas Instrument out. But I don't know what they're going to do. Clearly, it's an advantage. People like to use the argument of it wasn't really an issue when the cap was at like 40, 50 million when all this began. But clearly, as the cap goes up, it's becoming more and more of a separation and clearly more of an advantage. And it was just nice and refreshing to hear Brad Marchand be the voice of reason once again and set the record straight. So do you have any genius ideas, Aves, as to how they can equal this out?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you this. Traditionally, you would say that New York and LA had an advantage because players wanted to play in those cities. Both have the highest state tax probably out of all the states. So I think it's a seasonal thing. I think, Florida has been great with two different teams. And I think that that's come up. Dallas obviously hasn't got over the hump and they don't have state tax. So, I'd like to say this. And I told Grinelli that I wanted to talk about this. I called Brendan Shanahan yesterday and I got his ear for, we talked for about 15 minutes. And I said, let's make this a very clear conversation, Shanny, because I have full clarity now. If you could go back and you could cut a couple of heads off in your scouting room, would you have done it? Because in my opinion, these salaries now, if you are not building through the draft and you have bottom six players that when a great bottom six player hits free agency and now he's going to command 5.4 million, but he's really only worth 3.6, you don't chase and you keep that extra 2 million because you have another kid on the bottom six that's going to take that guy's spot. And that's done through drafting. And if you got some fucking volunteer firefighter from Peterborough that's in charge of your 6th, 7th, and 8th round pick, to me, that's irresponsible. You should be paying your scouts that go and find those gems in the bottom rounds, like Micah Parsons, a 5th round pick. Different sport, but that's what you need to build a fucking team. And I'm critical of the Rangers and Drury, and he just keeps going and hiring his buddies and these guys. Like, I don't know what he's doing, okay? But if you're not building through the draft, then you're a loser. You're a sucker chasing free agents, chasing those dollars. It's a loser game.
It also's been proved where I think, like, you think back to Chicago, some of these other teams winning cups with like major contributions from guys making $925, right?
David Boland.
Yeah, like Boland. I mean, what was Versteeg making at the time when they won the first one? Like all these different guys. Now, that's my problem with Edmonton, that they had Holloway and Broberg that wanted just a couple pennies and they let them go. So it's like they drafted those guys. So if you draft them and then they show promise, they're already in the league on their entry level, then it's like, all right, we got to hold on to them, especially when Holloway wanted like 1.4 million, whatever it was. So yeah, I'm with you. The question is, how hard is it to find a kid that you're like, I think we can get this kid in the 4th round. He's going to play in the NHL. That's where you're saying you need to have scouts who are dialed.
Well, yes. And Shanny made a good point. He said, I've had scouts say to me, this guy's going to play. And there's a difference between this guy's going to play and this guy's going to win, right? Wojtek Wolski. I love Wolves. Okay? Great guy. I love him to death. Real beauty, actually. But he was going to play, but was he going to win? And I think that that's the thing that you got to start differentiating. So a guy's got a little bit more muster on his stick and he's got moves and he puts up points in the regular season versus who's the fucking dogs that are going to get better over the year and be great in the playoffs.
That was a random name. What made you think of Wojtek Wolski?
Pretty good example, no?
He was a first rounder.
I would say more for especially the late rounds. To me, is a lot of teams, they try to like they try to be the team that drafts maybe this skill guy where they think it's going to turn into the next Pavel Datsyuk or maybe the next Zetterberg. Where
Or Kaprizov.
What's that?
Kaprizov, late pick.
Yeah, where I don't maybe feel like they draft to plug a guy into a certain spot where like I'm okay with a 5th, 6th round pick going to get that 6'5" defenseman where maybe you're saying, okay, maybe he's not the best skater, but we want to use this guy as a penalty kill guy who's a shutdown guy who's going to block shots and who's going to also intimidate the other team, where I feel like maybe a lot of teams don't do enough of that. Like I'm always very complimentary of the LA Kings and how they draft and develop, because especially when I was there, and you've seen it over the years where, especially with late round picks, like they'll take those kind of guys and then develop them into those certain positions where they're not trying to hit the home run every time. They just realize that they're going to have to plug in that 4th or 5th defenseman at a certain point when that guy ends up moving on, or he ends up going to get paid in free agency where it's over the amount of money that you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a good point, and I feel like the only way to get good teams now is to draft and develop, because how often do good free agents even hit the market anymore? Like there's never.
Yeah, I mean, don't you guys remember what camps used to be like where you would go in and you go, fuck, there might be 4 of us fighting for this 4th line job, right? 6 defensemen, whatever it was. And I feel like that depth has been lost. They got too many players that are the same and do the same thing.
Yeah. And I wonder now, being out of the game as long as we've been, Keith has obviously, played way more recently, but I wonder if camp is still as competitive, because the camps we were at, like you just brought it up, there was, say, maybe two spots up at forward, one spot at D with 10 guys realistically trying to get it. And I now the teams maybe picked a little bit more. This is kind of an open-ended question, but I don't know. And certainly the competitive part of it when we were there was like fighting, right? Yeah. And that definitely doesn't happen
I didn't even have a chance to make the team, and I was fighting Dan Carcillo before the scouts had their coffee. Like it's definitely a lot different. And here's another one for you guys. Like I think a good example is Patrick Sharp. I think Patrick Sharp started playing in the 3rd, 4th lines in the American League when he first hopped in, where God forbid some skilled player from junior college goes to the minors and plays on the 3rd and 4th line. His fucking agent's getting a call. You got the dad calling the team. Fuck, we got guys dads doing interviews whether if they don't get fucking an Olympic roster nod for the camps. So there's a lot of involvement on that type of level as well, where like fuck, like I don't even think my dad knew I was at training camp when I was at training camp, for fuck's sakes.
Well, Chicago's an interesting example, because remember Mark Bell, Kyle Calder, the depth that they had, like their drafts, you could go down that board, Carcillo. They had fucking killers. And, you could go to camp and maybe you could take Mark Bell's job. Like there was a chance. You still had to go in there fighting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really disappointed at like the Rangers are doing this whole centennial thing. So December 2nd, I guess, is fan favorite night. So they have to invite me to that one, right? And I'm towing the line, because these fucking guys better come out and play serious hockey. Panarin needs to redeem himself, whatever shit went on last year, whatever trouble he got, whatever weird thing they tried to sweep under the rug, and announce it like Stanley Cup Finals, sort of slide it in, slow news day. Mika with the dry hair, this guy needs to come back and be a player. If he's not going to play, what good are you? JT Miller, great step. Okay. Now let
you
this
like
kid
him being
take over.
captain. You like him being captain. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much. From my understanding, they're going to be getting the Hughes brothers, so I wouldn't concern myself too much with the Rangers. That's just what I'm hearing.
So what?
I heard
just take the year off.
I think that based on some things I've heard, like Drury talked to Zibanejad, however you say it, and was like, hey, like, we need way more. Way more. I mean, that guy's contract isn't even close to being over. So if he's like he's been the last like year and a half, it's like they're really fucked. He is the most, him and Fox for me, because I know you're Rangers Lightning guy. Him and Fox for me, if they have big years, they're in the playoffs, no doubt. Shesterkin's going to be good. It's just when he's getting 48 shots a game, what the fuck's he supposed to do?
I think that's one of the reasons why they named JT captain, because he'll call anybody out. I play with him. You saw what happened in Vancouver. Like, he will call anybody out, and he shows up every game. He plays like an animal 95% of the games, which is a lot in the NHL. So I think that's definitely the right call, naming him captain, just because guys will be afraid to, play like a bitch one game, because he'll come in and call you out in front of everyone. He'll call you out, at practice the next day. So I think it's a huge step for them.
Aves, do you think it's kind of a bad look though that they trade for JT Miller and he's already captain? Like, does that speak volumes to like maybe the identity of that locker room?
Well, yeah, and again, development, like K-Andre Miller. I mean, how long did you hang on to K-Andre Miller trying to develop him? I mean, come on.
A tough one though, with like a big D man who could skate. Like, as a GM, I'd be like, fuck, like there's something here, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but Aves, is that more of a coach's job developing? Because I feel like the last few that they have, like they have it. They're not exactly young guys who are maybe interested in doing that. Like Laviolette, he's on the
It
back
shouldn't be
nine.
a development league, though.
Yeah,
that's what the minors is for.
Yeah.
Send him to the minors.
I think we can all agree Keandre Miller is not an AHL defenseman, though, right?
Of course, yeah.
So
no, but remember his first couple of years, he wasn't an NHL ready defenseman, and they brought him in too early. They tried to push that way too quick.
I think it's also too, and you mentioned it about drafting, not the same guys, skilled guys. Like, it takes a lot. If you're a top end defenseman in junior putting up big numbers, it's got to be a big blow to be like, hey, dude, you're the 5-6 here. You just got to play shutdown minutes. Enough with trying to lug the puck up. Just make a first pass and get off the ice. So it's figuring out what you are in the league too, and that might come a little longer for some guys.
I
was going to ask another big question here. You talked, Jans, you said the comment like, well, it's not a development league. So who's to blame for the fact that the league's got so young so fast, where it kind of has turned into a bit of a development league? Like all these like guys who turn 30 who are great players, and maybe they wouldn't have the best training camps and not that good within the first 10, 15 games because they had to get their motors going, but all of a sudden these guys were disposed of. They couldn't find jobs, and then all of a sudden you got these fucking 23-year-olds running around where, yeah, they probably look good in training camp in the first 15 games, but the hockey sense ain't there. That's the cap. That's the cap where we talked at the beginning about getting a guy who could do the same thing as that 30-year-old for $900.
But again, that's also coaching. Like, if I'm Mike Sullivan and I played for Mike Sullivan, I know Mike Sullivan won Stanley Cups in Pittsburgh. I mean, oh God, I don't. The future does not look bright in New York. I mean, Mike Sullivan won.
It's the same hire.
He's a fucking dope. Okay, in my opinion. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's changed and he connects with these young guys now, but I want the New York Rangers' third and fourth line to not ever do anything except get to the red line and dump pucks. You want to become an NHL player? Develop your game the right way. Be a fucking grinder that I can put out there in any situation. Get your Corsi rating up because you're hungry on pucks. Play one way. Don't try and play on any other way. And then in year 4, you're going to be ready to take the next step. Okay? So we can keep this a development league, but play one way while you're developing. And don't fucking try and do too much. Because I need bottom 6 guys to just wear the other team's D out.
Which, by the way, is what Marchand did. It was quick, but Marchand was a fucking third, fourth liner. And then all of a sudden, okay, I'm looking at the Rangers depth chart right now. Like, their third and fourth line on this sheet, Gabe Perreault, whatever, could be a great player. Young, we'll see. Juuso Parssinen, Johnny Brodzinski, Adam Edstrom, who's enormous but doesn't really hit anyone.
Doesn't hit anyone.
Sam Carrick and Taylor Radish. So, like, I don't know. I mean,
Need some more Western leaguers on your bottom six.
Yeah, guys drinking beers out of the womb.
But it's also, too, like we talked to Dallas Drake the other day, and like you were a free agent when we all started when you were 31 years old. Nowadays, you're gone. So, like Whit just said, it does have a lot to do with the cap and, where guys are free agents now at what, 25, 26?
depends.
If you play at 18?
It can be 25.
Which means the development window technically should be much smaller.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you. I mean, you talked about like how they should play one way, like even from an entertainment aspect, like the first half of the season, sometimes like I'm doing games at TNT and I'm like, oh my God, we got Detroit and Buffalo. They haven't made playoffs since Christ is a Cowboy. And I think I could count 2 or 3 hits in the first fucking period. I'm saying, who the fuck are these guys not playing their dicks off? Like, what are you saving it for? You got you got a golf tournament to get ready for in the off season. Like, what's going on here? Like, let's bruise these shoulders up a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's coaching, and that's obviously also, a GM. I mean, the days of getting on the bus and having Glenn Sather like side eye you because he's just disgusted with how you played. He doesn't say anything, just disgusted. And man, if this guy wakes up in the middle of the night tonight and he had a bad dream, I could be fucking gone. Just that's it. So I don't know. Kevin Allen, is that the GM of Buffalo?
Kevin Adams.
Close enough. He wasn't even. I played a lot against him. He's so unfucking memorable. I didn't even know his last name. But like, if I'm Mr. Pagula, I'm not giving the keys to the castle to that guy. I need fucking more accountability. And I need it from top to bottom in the organization, including that fucking scout in Peterborough, who's just not giving me enough guys out of the 5th round.
Find me some guys. It's funny you mentioned Buffalo, Biz, considering in all this, we really haven't brought up the enormous contracts you get after 64 games played. Which Buffalo might
an
lead,
issue.
They might lead the league in it. And then you talk about development and being a dog, but like, dude, I just got handed $47 million. Like, I'm fucking good. Like, I'm gonna sign another one of those. So
if you since we're on that topic, like and we talked about JT already, there was a big issue between JT and Pettersson because once he signed that deal last year, he came in out of shape. Like he clearly hadn't put the work in the offseason, where even from talking to people before he signed that deal where he's making $11 million a year, that if you would have asked, okay, what's his effort level and work ethic in practice from a day-to-day perspective? And out of 10, I got the numbers. Some days you get a 6, some days you get a 7. In what fucking planet are you handing over that type of money to a guy that how many guys make over 10 million in the league? And if they do, how many of those guys are driving traffic every day in practice? When I played with Sid, bro, if you even dreamt of starting the drill off, he'd probably send you to the minors himself. He says, tapping the shin pad, I'm starting it and I'm setting the tone. So the fact that a guy like that is getting that type of money, and I'm hearing that he's got a 6 or 7 work ethic in practice day in and day out. Now, it's clear that he took this offseason a lot more seriously, where he gained 13 pounds of muscle. He's probably going to have to find that dog in himself a lot more now that JT's gone and they have a lack of centerman and he's that 1A guy now. But that to me is also like, that to me is a glaring issue with certain players and what they're bringing game in, game out, day in, day out, and how they're treating themselves in the offseason to prepare for what a full 82 game slate is. Like, what type of luxury is that when you're making that type of money?
Yeah, I also heard the same thing, and I think JT Miller-Jans would know. He played with them. I think he's the type of guy that just can't probably keep it inside if he's looking at a guy that's supposed to be, his equal, superstar, who fucks the dog. I mean, it probably made him mad. He probably just went fucking crazy and just couldn't take it.
I think that is that sounds like is what happened. He took the leave, and it's like I think he literally couldn't stand it anymore. Now, is that right or wrong? I don't know, but at least the captain now of the Rangers is somebody who you're never really going to be watching them and thinking like, all right, their leader isn't going tonight. He's not driving the net. He's not finishing hits. Like, he'll do that for sure.
Yeah, and again, remember, JT came in there late last year, so he's got to be careful. He's coming out of a bad situation. If he starts fucking lighting up Mika with the dry hair, that gets dangerous, right? You got to be careful. So hopefully...
Yeah, but also in the same breath, it's like Mika's clearly at this point aware that there's going to be a way higher expectation of what he's bringing to the table this year. And if JT sees that he's more worried about the mega mix he's putting together, for pregame or for whatever nightclub he's going to be DJing at that week, is he really a bad guy for lighting him up? Like, was that expectation not known from Pettersson coming in the season prior, especially after being handed that type of money? So I know it's easy for half the people to label JT as a bad guy for calling him out, but this is fucking professional sports here. And I understand there's a new way that these coaches and management have to talk to players, and they're a little bit more a part of the conversation as opposed to like speaking down to them. But I don't know, man. I think a little bit more of the old school way coming back is not the worst thing. I'm not saying it should go full bore to where, you got the Mike Keenans of the world playing maybe some mind games, but I think that there's a nice balance in between to raise the level of accountability and bring guys outside their comfort zone, especially at the fact that going back to those old days, they weren't even making a quarter of what these guys are getting paid now. Like, it's fucking, those are the guys who paved the way for them to make 11 sheets a year. So I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. I know we've been talking in circles a little bit. Do you have any other, G said you have other things that you think you could contribute to building a winning organization? Is there anything else?
Draft well.
You have to draft. I mean, it starts right there. And I think the org charts in these organizations, as far as personnel and who you have and who you're relying on to go out every single night and watch games, in shitty barns across the world, not just North America, you have to prioritize that. That has to be. And if you didn't play the game, get fucked. First of all, you're off the list. I apologize, but like, I want to walk into my scout room and go, oh yeah, Thomas Holmstrom definitely knows what a dog is,
Right, but like you were saying, like half these guys are, volunteer firemen, so maybe the money's not there where ex-players want to go out and go sit in a rink in the middle of Bemidji, Minnesota or whatever. So like you said, with that $2 million that you're saving with Shanahan, when you're losing that guy to another team, spend that $2 million on bringing have 4 or 5 guys and just
maybe you start paying scouts way more.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Reversing that org chart, it shouldn't be so top heavy when the most important guys are your guys that are out on the road trying to find your next fucking pick one. Kachuk. I mean, it's not Kachuk. It's Kirill. It's Kaprizov.
Yeah.
I always wondered.
It used to drive me insane. Not insane. I shouldn't say that, but like when the GMs would be at every game, be on every road trip, eating meals and the thing. It's like, dude, go out and scout. Like, get a team. Go watch some teams and get us some players maybe instead of eating the filet for the 57th day in a row. That's the best part of being a GM. I know. I'd do the same exact thing.
But you look at some of the more successful ones, like Jim Nill. He ain't making 5-6 sheets. I think he's making probably 2, maybe 3, and he's making sure his guys are being taken care of. That's why he's got good scouts. That's how he poached them, I believe, over from Detroit. And that leads me to my next question with you, Waves. Are you a little bit more, lenient? Because Stevie Y right now, from at least an online and fan perspective, the patience is wearing thin because they haven't made playoffs. Do you feel that he's kind of building that foundation from the ground up where he's more developing these guys, drafting well, and it's taking a little bit longer to finally see the result? Like, what's your feeling on Stevie Y, and how much leash do you give him? I mean, you played with him, right?
Well, I'll use 2 things about Stevie, okay? When Stevie was the captain, Stevie and Ken Holland had a relationship like that. So when guys rolled into camp, okay, if a guy came into camp and he was a big ticket guy and he wasn't ready to go, that conversation between Steve and that player, it was rock solid because the player that wasn't bringing it knows that if Stevie goes to Kenny and says he's done, he's out, then he's fucking gone. And they had that relationship because you can't just build a team from the press box. You have to have input from the guys in the fucking room. You have to. That's your engine. So that's that piece of it. Now, as far as Stevie's scouting room, I'll go to war with that scouting room, and I think they're going to get it done. Draper, even a guy like Jesse Wallen. I mean, me and Jesse played in the fucking American League when it was Murderers Row. Wally played, like, he knows guys that play hard. He knows. You know what I mean? So building, and I think there's a bunch of other guys in there that I'm just not.
Cleary, Draper. They got
Gordo.
Yeah, Boyd Gordon.
Great. Fucking played his bag off. I love tough guy to play against, Boyd Gordon.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was a grumpy son of a bitch. Just ask Jans.
Holy
What's
shit.
ironic about all this is that the back-to-back Cup champs actually didn't do it through the draft. I mean, Ekblad and Barkov, no doubt. So they did it with a lot of trades where they just fleeced teams and free agency signing because I think a lot of guys want to play there. But the message still remains what we're saying in that one team did it. They were able to do it, but no one else has really done the Cup champ thing through free agency and trades. Like, at least not that I can remember.
No, and
they're going to be horrible at some point, but they, it doesn't matter now. They'll probably win another one.
Right, but Ekman Larson, is that his name?
Yeah.
Right? They got him via free agency, but gave up nothing to get him.
No, he got bought out, I think, by
He got bought out in Vancouver,
cheap.
and what Florida was good at is going to find the gems and
Schmidt.
filling in, the Nate Schmitz and filling the
Mikkola.
holes with those types of players. I mean, Oliver, I think, was making $2 million when he went over there. You kind of mentioned that GM conversation with the engine that's running the team. Here, I'll throw another one at you. I was like shocked, especially seeing what he ended up signing for, and Jake Gensel, and the fact that Pittsburgh didn't just sign him because that was Crosby's guy. Do you think that Kyle Dubas ended up going down to Sid and saying, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing? Like, what do you think we should do?
I hope so.
I'm guessing no,
he
because Sid
didn't.
would have been like...
To me, that's insane if he didn't do that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because how does Jake Gensel end up? They part ways with him. I believe they got Bunting back in a draft pick. No offense to Bunting, but he couldn't carry Jake Gensel's jock. And then he ends up signing a pretty reasonable contract for what he provides as a free agent. Players like that should never get the free agency, by the way. And he goes on to Tampa Bay, where, like, you can't tell me you're serious about winning if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins and you don't re-sign Jake Gensel and give him probably what would have been a hometown discount based on what he provided. Like, is there a more clutch player in playoffs than Jake Gensel to provide?
Well, he's definitely top 10 right now, and at that point was high on the board. I don't know what the initial offer was, but again, Tampa Bay, it's a no state tax.
You think that if they offer him a proper contract, he's considering even leaving Pittsburgh? Jake Gensel seems like a pretty chill guy to me.
The rumors were that he wanted to stay.
So
now,
going back to what you said, like, if there's any guy in the league who should be consulted by his team if they should move on from a guy or not, it's probably Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kyle Dubas, I mean, my God. I mean, he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. I mean, what the fuck did he do to the Toronto Maple Leafs? When you really dissect what he did, I mean, my good God.
He got Biz to be a super fan.
Leaf fans are unbelievable. Like, they're so
they're
great.
Unbelievable, dude.
Don't flip this conversation on me.
What do you mean? They're already planning the parade for this year, too. Now that they're the core four. That there's no core four, just a complete shot at Nyes.
And again,
somebody said the key three.
Well, I mean, Austin Matthews, if there's a guy right now in the league that I say that might not have the next gear to win, he might be at the top of my list. Elias Pettersson might be second.
Oh, come on.
No,
now
I think
you're just
Poppy. I think
now
Poppy's
you're just
got
stirring
it in
the
him.
fucking pot. Come on.
I think Poppy's got it in him.
Poppy's got it in him, dude.
He just doesn't show it because he can't, because he's in Toronto, like outside. Like he's not going to be calling guys out on the bench because he knows it'll be such a big deal. I think he's got it in him.
Thank you. It's a voice of reason.
Right, but Jens, if that's the case, then you got to do what Steve Yzerman does and just go out there and put the team on your back, you know?
Yeah.
And not take any fucking shifts off.
I mean, he really doesn't. He's so good. I
was
think
he
he's
in
so
that-
good. 200-foot game. Like I got no complaints with Austin.
How was he in games 5 through 7 this year, Biz?
He
game
was
7, the whole team was horrendous.
He was a beast in game 6. I mean, he's the one who ended up making that, or he scored the goal, the lone goal. And I believe he was playing injured. And like, yeah, maybe if he's not putting it in the back of the net, he's still such a reliable 200-foot guy. Like he's a horse. Like if you look at all the numbers and stuff like that, I don't agree with you, Aves. I think that he's an absolute horse.
No, at 15 million, dude, you're a game breaker. I need more than a horse.
No, he's making 13 and a half.
All right.
But which is going to be a deal in a
Toronto,
year or two.
that's 4.
Yeah. Olivia Chow. That's their mayor.
This has been some great hockey conversation, and we always appreciate your insight, Aves. Like you are an absolute gamer. Is it okay if I shift the conversation to summer skate? Now, what made you write this? What would you call it? Like a romance novel, a lust novel? Is it very extremely sexual? Does it flirt that line, kind of like you did as a player? Like how hardcore does
before
this
he
go?
answers, Biz, before he answers,
yeah,
and his audiobook. Before he answers,
his voice though. Sorry,
the one of the parts in the book. The woman she's just obsessed with this guy. Like it's lust. She knows she shouldn't do anything. She's obsessed with him, and she's laying on the
married?
bed.
She is married.
She's
Two
married.
kids.
She's laying on the bed, and she's just, pardon my French here. She's jamming herself, thinking of him.
She's going
right?
at herself.
And then the next chapter. So it's chapter from her perspective, and then the next chapter's him, and it goes back and forth. So she's jamming herself, and she's coming all over herself, thinking of this man and this hockey player. And then it goes over to him. And he is laying on the couch watching the 94 finals.
Reasonable.
Vancouver versus the Rangers, talking about how good Alexei Kovalev is.
the moose is loose. Hey, did you have to get permission to use guys' names?
No, I guess
shit.
because it's a fiction novel, so we all should know that it's not based in any reality. So
I guess you didn't say full names too, right? It was just Crosby.
Yeah. No, I think I did say Mark Messier and made a Moose is Loose reference. There's a lot of
Talbot.
There's a lot of interesting Easter eggs. And by the way, Alexei Kovalev was sick. My God.
Oh my God. Dude.
That would make me jam my box. Watching him stick handle.
He was the best.
Where's he at these days? Like that type of player. You know what I
reading
mean?
your book.
Fuck. I should get him one. 94. He's a legend. Okay, so my agent says to me, you know that books are coming back. I said, I don't know. I thought books were dead, like the Kindle and all that stuff. He said, no, the romance category. The romance category has single-handedly brought books back to the forefront. Not just the romance category. There's 2 categories specifically. Sports romance, which is led by hockey. Crazy enough, hockey romance novels are the biggest category in the sports romance. Now, outside of sports romance, Whit, it's fairy porn. You heard about this, yeah?
I was seeing a girl at the beginning of summer where like I had a party here in Oak Bay, and her and another girl were talking about it, and I was just like, oh, like that's a thing. And like, yeah, shockingly, they're like, oh, women are so down with all this like fantasy lust, like / porn. And just to go back to the hockey correlation, like who else has a hockey romance novel? Like what other ones are popular?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Currently they're filming the most successful to date is called Off Campus, written by this gal, Al Kennedy. and Amazon's making it into a series right now. I actually auditioned for the dad role of the player that's the star of the book. I can't remember his name. They didn't give it to me. They gave it to some fucking hack TV actor with a lot of TV credits. And I actually told the producer, I said, this better be good because, I mean, you went with the wrong guy and I got a fucking flamethrower on social media and I'm not afraid to use it.
Somehow this Broadway pizza throwing incident kind of makes a little bit more sense the way that you're talking about this, but I digress. Keep going.
Yeah, I've yet to do a play, so I don't even know if that story's real. So my agent breaks it down for me, and I said, "Great, like, let's go, let's do this." He said, "I've got a client that I represent, a female writer. She's from New York. Her dad's a diehard Ranger fan. Maybe you guys could kind of link up. Maybe you could do something together because." Although I did write all the male chapters, so it's two perspectives. We have a female protagonist and a male protagonist. Jessica and Carter Hughes is the New York Ranger rookie that's living in the Hamptons, and you know, they're going wild. He's got two guys that he played with at the University of Vermont. New Hampshire, sorry. I always mix those two up. Different states, right?
Yeah, Vermont and New Hampshire are different.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
the sun,
a ghostwriter.
The moon goes around.
It does. Live free or die. So we met and it was quick. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to write a romance novel that isn't just one book because the way these are successful, they're written in like 3 or 4. So there's parts to it. People get vested with these characters. They like to watch their journey. This is the first book. Carter spends the summer in the Hamptons before the season starts. The second book will be his first year in New York as a rookie. You know, we leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of book 1. There's a pop star in the city that he's having relations with.
That he meets at Bond, correct?
At Zero Bond, yeah, originally.
What's Zero Bond?
The big time, like, member. I think it's what was the place that used to be wicked private and tough to get into, and then everyone got in.
Soho House. It was like the boutique Soho House. Zero Bonds. Scott Sartiano, my buddy Scott started it. He's really taking over New York. Yeah, Zero Bond. Taylor Swift. It's like it was the hot members club, the first one that came out of Soho House. So everything is based in real places. You know, some of these books
I like that.
read, like off campus. Shout out Al Kennedy. I don't know. It's like CW bubblegum shit. I mean, this is real. We were all NHL players, young, single, going to the cave.
I had 50 tucks my first year, so I was living it.
Going up to Sauble Beach.
Ice.
You were at Sauble Beach, Biz.
Aves, how graphic does it get? I mean, Yan just mentioned the one girl's jamming her box while you're watching the 94 Cup run. Like what's the dirtiest thing that happens in a book? Like, is this player getting a rusty trombone? Like is she?
Yeah. I think there's some ass eating on the side of the road at a farm stand in the Hamptons. There's a
Does
wild.
it reflect what you like sexually? Is that part of the book?
Well, you know what he did project? You did project. I appreciated the panic of testing at camp. There's a lot. Carter's in there, Biz, and he's panicked about camp testing. I was like, oh my God, that's Aves. That's all of us.
Yep. Well, yeah, he's probably, instead of training, he was getting farts sucked out of his asshole instead. What does this pertain to a lot of what you like? Like, is that how much?
Well, it's interesting you should say that. Yeah, I mean, there's a scene that I think Carter Hughes likes to have his nipples licked while he's coming.
Never had that done.
Mine are too hairy.
Well, to each his own, you know? I heard Biz likes the bottom of his heels licked.
What about taking it in the hoop with a strap on? You think that's coming like the second, third book or something? Or
you know what? I think Carter at some point there'll be some dabbling, or he'll get himself, I mean, I'm sure he'll go to an Anderson Cooper Halloween party and have some straight actor who's not really straight put his hand down his pants, but from behind, like not at the front, down the back. You know what I mean? To go to the old tickle underneath. So life imitates art, gentlemen, but I'd like to say this again. The audiobook is also fantastic. Jans is listening. I do the male voice, and actually a friend of mine, an actor who I recently worked with, his wife, she's also an actor, Emily Tremaine, she records the female voice. So it's so easy. You know, it's fun. We read this shit. We need our minds filled. It bounces back and forth from perspective to perspective. People are reading this book in a few hours. They're reading it in a day, and it's real. Again, I'll say it. We know that this is real and the other shit is not real because, you know, and honestly, those books are written by women that didn't play the game. And we did, and we can all get in here. We can all get in here. No limitations. Me and fucking Jans could write one together about, you know, did you ever go to Brainerd, Minnesota to train in Brainerd?
No, he did.
I did.
You did, Whit? There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
That's a nice summer setting, too, for a book, for a romance.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Me and Bugsy did shrooms getting ready for U.S. Olympic camp. Good way to prepare.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
You're not the only guy, eh?
There you go. That's the reality, is that, you know, you don't know until you really know. You look behind the curtain. We're pretty open books. We don't hide it, but there's a reality to, you know, who these guys are and how hard they like to go. And I think that we've kind of summarized this, and I think it's a great read. And Barnes & Noble, Indigo, fucking Chapters, Amazon, New York City.
How many do you have to sell? Like, is there like how does that work?
How many do I have to sell? I did a new deal. I did a deal. We took essentially zero upfront money, and we're 50-50 partners, which is the only way you can really fucking do it in this business now. You got to have some
trust
stake
yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I think it is, Aves? And you ask any women from 35 to 65, they're all in at least one book club right now, and all of them are reading. You know, they're meeting once a month, and 6 out of the 12 months that you're reading a smut book. And you know, I hear it because my wife will host a book club party, and they'll be talking about it, and it's just like you're saying, like they're into it. It's like, dude, once you get to a certain age, like that type of shit, just to get your mind away from it, read something that, you know, maybe you're not into. It's great. I've enjoyed. I think I'm on like chapter 9 or 10 right now, and I've enjoyed it. It's been great. The audio is great because you get to hear your voice, your perspective. I'm thinking it's you. I even Googled the lady whose voice it was just so I could have like a picture of her. Yeah, so she looks great too. So I think it's amazing. Good for you for putting yourself out there doing it. And you've done another book too, so it's, I guess, second
I
nature.
also feel like it's big because a lot of these, like, especially women probably over the age of 40, like they're not getting enough dick in their life and they're not getting enough spontaneity. Well, would you agree with that?
Yeah, maybe. And by the way, great exercise for a couple, because for the guys, you're going to read this book and you're going to be like Whit said, there's scenes about testing for camp and getting ready and working out and shooting pucks and, you know, all the training aspects.
There's a hockey aspect, yes.
And then they fuck, you know?
Whit and Bree read it together. He reads your chapters and then she reads the other ones, which is cool.
I do love in the acknowledgments, Biz, Leslie would like to thank Sean for teaching her that waxed is a combination of drunk and high. And Aves, Marlene Avery, Hockey Moms Everywhere, you know what you did. I didn't know, reading the back here, that your favorite band is Fish. That's something I learned new about Aves, but...
Really? I didn't know that in all our
he goes to a ton of concerts.
No.
Fish is in the book.
Gave them a shout out. Yeah, I gave him a shout out.
I gave him a big shout out. You know, Vermont, the whole connection, and Fish is the greatest live touring band in the world right now.
Not the Grateful Dead?
No, the Dead's John Mayer, and you know, the Dead's not. Yeah, if Jerry was around, but no, a Fish show is
like they've stayed authentic to what they've always been. You mean?
and grown. And what they do online and the live streaming capability and livefish.com, they're an incredible band. They're an incredible band. Matt Rempe's in this book. You haven't got to the chapters yet, gentlemen. Matt Rempe is in this book. And
Hey,
He's probably not slamming anything in New York.
Oh my God.
well, you would hope. But
I
fucking,
got
who
a
knows?
question. And this is off topic of Summer Skate. Everyone, buy your copy. Anything you can tell us about the Odyssey? Last time you came on during a live stream, it was brought up. I know very secretive things. Christopher Nolan obviously loves you, and talk about a guy you want to have in your corner in Hollywood, but is it off limits to discuss it?
No, I mean, my guidelines have been shared, what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. I was on this movie for 6 months, so this is going to be a big one for me. Now it's game over. Now I'm hunting. Now I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna win a Golden Globe. I'm gonna win an Academy Award. It's the biggest movie ever made. It is. You want to talk about fantasy, and it's the original hero's journey from A to B. Odysseus trying to get home. I'm not spoiling everything. It's the oldest piece of literature ever written. So, Biz, that means when this book was originated, it wasn't even written because there wasn't pen and paper yet. That's how old this thing is.
What do they do? Write it in scripture, or
they sung it?
Oh,
they performed it, and it was sort of spoken word passed along and along. It's an incredible book. He's an incredible director. It is the biggest movie ever made. We filmed in 5 countries. No CGI, no green screen, in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
We were in Sicily. That's why when Biz is he goes on his walkabouts, I said, I just walked Iceland, Sicily, Greece, fucking, where else? Scotland, which is unbelievable.
When you
guys
do
golf.
this, is this in your time off from filming? And are you doing overnight packing trips? How do you, what was the journey?
Well, Iceland, we were staying in Winnebagos. And by the way, Iceland in the summer, the sun doesn't go down. It actually, at 2 a.m., it's brighter out. The sky illuminates. Iceland's incredible. But yeah, we would, 5 months, you don't film every day. So we were doing stuff. We saw some incredible places. I mean, filming wise, just, the landscapes. You guys would love Scotland.
I've been.
I played this
I've
golf
been to
course.
Scotland.
Nairn, which is one of the oldest.
That place is ridiculous.
We just drove there on a Saturday morning. Members can be members there, but it's open to the public. And we walked in. Guy said, you got to wait about 90 minutes for a tea time. We went to the most incredible snack shack that had fucking grass on the ceiling, outside. It was part of the countryside. And what did we had? Toasties, which they call, that's a grilled cheese. Huh.
With the sausage, they got, oh my God.
Scotland's incredible. And I'll tell you a little tidbit. In the bars there, a bathroom stall door, they put the bathroom stall doors on magnets because the Scottish, they get so fucking drunk. And then they go and they hit the old baggie, tendies up the nose. They do it so much that the bouncers can come in and they just rip the stall door off the wall, off the hinge, because it's on fucking magnets, pull the person out, put the door back, and they go back to normal. Scotland's wild.
$250 million budget, Biz. $250 million for the Odyssey. Biz, if you have a question, can I read the ad before our last question? I'm sorry.
Of course.
Okay, before Biz goes, Rollback last question. Use code Chiclets on rollback.com right now for 20% off your first purchase through the end of the week. That's CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polos, hoodies, joggers. Code Chiclets. Go ahead, Biz. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I mean, we can ask a few more too. I was just going to say, when you're going through these journeys, when you're getting your days off on set, who are you able to hang out with? Did you just meet buddies in the acting world? Do you have friends from back home who would maybe fly over? Who were you hanging with?
We had an incredible cast. This Welshman, Andrew Howard. You remember the movie Limitless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Bradley Cooper. He was the bad guy in Limitless.
Yep. I just looked him up. I remember this guy.
A Welsh actor. What a wild man. I mean, this guy, this cast, John Bernthal. Bernthal was with us.
That's Biz.
That's my uncle, the Punisher.
Bernthal's incredible. Josh Stewart, who's he's a fucking guy's been working for 30 years. He was in First Watch. He's been in a ton of network television. Just a seasoned actor, a great dude. I met some of my closest friends on this movie. I mean, some of these guys, Jovan Adepo, Elliot Page was in this movie. Elliot Page.
Really?
Who used to be Ellen Page. Elliot,
Yes.
Nova Scotia kid. All kinds of. So we had a tight knit group. You know what I mean? We were very remote also, Biz. We were in like Loch Ness in Scotland, which is Inverness, which is not.
Place is unbelievable. There's
Elgin,
nothing
Scotland.
there, but it's cool.
Did you spend
Iceland.
any time with Ryan Hurst? The guy, I know him as Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
I spent many, many, many days with Ryan Hurst. What a big guy. Works out with a sauna suit and just does a slow bike ride. 90-minute bike ride with a sauna suit. And Ryan Hurst is a great guy. Great actor. Yep. Yeah, people love him from Sons. I never watched Sons. I never got into it.
I watched the whole thing. I don't know which guy you're talking about. I'll have to look.
Opie, he ends up getting killed in the prison fight.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. Why are you laughing?
Isn't it amazing how those actors from, England, Ireland, Scotland, like they when they're acting, they sound like they're from fucking Ohio.
Insane.
It's incredible what the Europeans can do coming the other way. Himesh Patel, English actor, unbelievable actor. I don't know if anyone watched The Franchise on HBO. That's his latest thing that came out. It was a great show. Himesh is an incredible actor. His fucking American accent, he puts it on. He sounds like he's like a cab driver from New York. Like,
it's crazy.
I always go back to Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood, like how he's able to like some of these guys, like they're freaks of nature, which is my favorite movie of all time. Now,
I was gonna say it's the only movie I think I've ever heard you even talk about.
No. I always go back to a lot of the same ones, Abe's. Like
Gangs in New York.
I like Gangs in New York, of course. What's the one? No Country for Old Men.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
You gotta type.
Yeah, I gotta type.
You gotta type. Sicario.
I think I saw the first one. Isn't there a second one?
Yeah, one's way better than two, I thought.
Yeah, one is Denny Villeneuve, who directs Dune, and one is one of the great. But like Sicario's fucking incredible.
Abe's, is Anne Hathaway friendly?
Anne Hathaway,
she's a rocket.
She hasn't fucking aged.
She's gotten younger. She's on the adrenochrome.
It's all over Twitter too. There's a lot of very popular videos, basically like Anne Hathaway's LeBron, like they're not getting older. Like she's beautiful.
Anne was around a lot. It was a very heavy male-dominated set. She handled herself incredible. Zendaya, bro,
She's
you know
a
who's
stud.
a beauty?
She's a stud.
Tom Holland.
Oh,
unbelievable!
So
what a
they
golfer.
were the main people in it.
Well, there's just, it just keeps going and going. But yeah, they were around a lot. Matt Damon, boss. Yeah, Matt Damon,
Pattinson.
the hardest working actor in Hollywood. No doubt about it. Market right now. I watched this guy. You guys have seen pictures of him, how ripped he got for this movie.
I thought Tom Cruise got that label, but keep going.
I don't know. No. You know what? No. Matt Damon is solid fucking gold. This guy, what a beauty. And you know what? Ben Affleck came and watched one day when we were on the lot in Universal. Affleck came. Those two are that tight. Came to watch his buddy work. It's incredible.
It's awesome.
Aves, can you fill me in if on the rumor I heard is true? So one of my favorite movies all time is Heat. And yesterday I saw
Heat 2 is possibly happening. I might have had a meeting with
buddy. I was gonna say, so the rumor I saw now, Biz, if you want to fucking watch a good movie, Heat.
Great.
Al Pacino's a cop chasing Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer. Now, Heat 2 would be a prequel to that movie in which Austin Butler would be Val Kilmer.
Central America.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. And then who else would they have? A couple other Leonardo would be Pacino, and Adam Driver would be De Niro.
So recast and pull us back into the prequel with like-minded. I mean, Austin Butler, that comparison between him and
that's good.
Iceman. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Kilmer and fucking those. I mean, so good.
Jawline.
Yeah. Michael Mann is a wild one though. But Biz, you haven't seen Heat?
Oh, that's one that I haven't seen
tonight.
I watched it recently. It ages. It's
tonight,
fucking
the
money.
greatest shootout scene in the history of movies, Biz.
Ever.
I'll watch There Will Be Blood, and if I have time, I'll throw on Heat. But I was going to ask you, in order to prepare for like these roles and stuff like that, do you go to like not acting classes, but maybe like improv classes? Like who do you work with? Do you work with a coach, or are you pretty comfortable after you read the script, you kind of got it and you just keep doing take after take with maybe a friend reading the script and then you're good to go? Like how did you prepare for this stuff?
Well, I just did an audition this morning for the new Yellowstone remake called Marshals, which is going to be on CBS. Luke Grimes is doing that one. And I got the sides 2 days ago. I have a great acting coach, Matthew Berry. Shout out Matthew Berry, who's a LA Kings season ticket holder. Hates the team, has hated the team for 20 years. Just hates his team.
Just
but
goes for hate.
Yeah, but he's a fan, great acting coach. I'm in Kevin Connolly's office right now. If I ever need Kevin to kind of sit in and help. You have to if you don't know the words, if you can't say the words with a gun to your head, you can't do this. And that's the hardest thing, is figuring out a muscle, and that new muscle. And I've said it before, I listen to songs now and I actually hear what they're singing about. I go, holy fuck, that's what that Cranberries song was about? That's incredible. You know what I mean? Because I can take the information in differently, which reminds me, yeah. I'm going to go do Daniel Carcillo's retreat at some point. He's doing God's work up there in Oregon, and Biz, me and you should go, and we should go. I would go actually do a dose. Because they're rewiring, they're hardwiring, they're getting parts of the brain that are firing that haven't been firing. We all have CTE on some level, and memorizing is one of those pieces of the brain. And if there's now things that I can do to get that shit firing, and some of these GMs should start thinking about this, alternative medicine and sending your guys. Imagine sending your team with fucking car bomb up to Oregon and getting them all dosed on 5 grams of mushrooms.
So why can't Barkov stick handle anymore?
They get, Biz? What do you think?
So I would definitely go with you. This David Vabora guy who was on that hike with, to finish things off, he was Mr. Irrelevant. I was talking about him when I got back from that peaking trek. He knows Carcillo, and he was talking about it, and he implemented a lot of that into what he does, right? Because he played in the NFL for 5 years, probably sustained numerous concussions. He got addicted to opiates after he blew out his shoulder his last year, and he kind of found a whole new meaning to life in his post-career through the foundation that he's running, and also doing a lot of this modern day medicine. So I would be very willing to do it. Would you want to document it, or would you just want to go and do it?
Listen, I respect your art form. You guys are killing it over there at Barstool. Everything is content these days. Absolutely. I got nothing to hide. Okay. I got nothing to hide.
You're okay with the puking and the vomiting? In some cases, they even provide you with men diapers because you could be shitting yourself. I'll do a hero dose. I'll try it.
That's part of what a big trip is?
It's basically part of letting
come to Oregon, shit yourself and puke everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go to Bandon Dunes instead.
Yeah. We'll go one way, you'll go the other. But I believe that it's kind of like essentially like an ego death where you just kind of release it all, right? And you succumb, and it's kind of like a rebirth, right, Aves?
Yeah, a bit of a purge, and then you can
Purge.
kind of sort of go in deeper and open some doors that haven't been opened in a while. But more about those sensors. You know, what I'm reading, it's like more about waking up parts of the brain that we've sort of killed, which, being a professional athlete, we tamper our emotions, you know, or we close them for the most part. You know, to be a killer, you gotta sort of be emotionless. Nick Lidstrom he was always like this, but you know, I don't know. So I think that's what's interesting about it. And it kind of just ties into all of us. We're all artists. We're all making art, whether we're playing the game or talking about it, or fucking.
I like that, Aves.
Yeah, it's a
you
good.
know, so, you know, and you can't be afraid of it. Like, what's there to be afraid of? Who cares?
At the end of the day, we're
don't
all gonna
care.
die, right? On your deathbed, you ain't gonna be concerned about that.
Yep, exactly. So
Aves,
I'm feeling good.
I love that. I love hearing that. Coming off an amazing shoot all over the world. You got the book, Summer Skate. Everyone check it out. Can't wait for that movie. And I love the manifestation of you saying, I'm fucking winning a Golden Glove.
Hell yeah.
I love that. And it kind of wrapped back around to the beginning of the conversation, in which play on the fourth line, fucking grind it out for a couple years. And that's what, you know, in acting, certainly you ain't just hopping in and dominating.
Well, you had roles that didn't have lines,
He did.
right?
No, this is my third Nolan movie. The you know, the first one, I was just there, you know, and everything it takes time. You can't, just like you said, Whit, you can't come into the league and fucking like relax. Just you're not going to take over yet, because Brad Marchand, he's going to fucking dummy you when nobody's looking. He's too wise. You're not going to win this race right now. So learn.
Sean Avery, folks, always an absolute pleasure talking to you. That was a
Fucking right,
great
Abe.
chat. Felt like it was about 10 minutes long. So have a great one, Abe.
You might not be
appreciate it.
acting
Thank you,
anymore.
guys.
You might have a fucking GM job in a few months.
Thank you, guys. Here, have a great season. Don't pull any punches. Do what you guys do. We all love you. Thank you.
Hey guys, Whit here. Let's talk about Shell quick. Shell Oil Company, members of Shell, they get more rewards, savings, and special offers with the Fuel Rewards program at Shell. Fuel Reward members can earn rewards on fuel, snacks in the C-store, dining out, shopping online, and more. All rewards earned will turn into savings at the pump. The more you shop, the more you earn rewards, the more you save on fuels at Shell. Simple as that. Biz has that big old truck. He needs to fill it up constantly. Boom. He uses Shell, and he gets all the rewards from the Fuel Rewards program. All rewards earned will turn into savings at the pump. The more you shop, the more you earn rewards, the more you save on fuels. And become a new member of the Fuel Rewards program and save 10 cents per gallon on your first fill, 20 cents per gallon on your second, and 30 cents per gallon on your third. Get everyday savings afterwards. At Shell, members get more rewards, savings, and special offers. Join the Fuel Rewards program at Shell today. Visit fuelrewards.com/barstool25 for more information. At participating merchants and Shell locations, limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information. Thank you so much to Sean Avery. Please, everyone, go buy Summer Skate. Hell of a book, and more to follow with Leslie Cohen and Sean Avery.
I was taping my stick and stroking my shaft.
Putting on my garter belt with my hairy nutsack and then showing the entire world of Chiclets listeners.
I slipped the butt end right in my asshole and hit my G-spot.
We're going to shoot it down to Florida right now. Fort Lauderdale, to be exact.
My mouth guard got stuck on her pussy.
Get the fuck. Shut up. Matthew Tkachuk out until at least December. Keith, you mentioned you ran into him. He's on crutches. Actually, pretty cool. He was the guest picker on College Game Day this week before the big Miami-Florida matchup. I don't know how his picks did, but Zito announced he'll be out till December. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it was told to us he really had no business playing in the playoffs last year. Like, he was mangled. I think still around a point per game, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible amount of. Let me check that quick.
His
I don't know.
adductor was like ribs right off the bone.
Crazy, man.
And he had the sports hernia going, and it's just like this guy's grinding it out. He had 23 points in 28 games, winning back-to-back Stanley Cup, so it makes sense, but probably, not probably, a tough loss for Florida until almost halfway through the season.
Until they circumcised the cap.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think for them, it's like they proved last year they don't need to come in first place to, win the Stanley Cup. They snuck their way in last year and won pretty easily, I thought. But yeah, it's tough to see him out. I honestly just hope he's back before Olympics. Team USA needs him. He's a huge part of that team, huge part if, we're going to be able to beat Canada and, the rest of those teams too. It's not just Canada, but tough news. But I think he's one of those guys though, like he's going to be around. He's still going to be around. He's still going to be helping out, still leading from a position not on the ice, but a guy that's going to be in the locker room every day. I think when a guy like him is hurt, some guys, they're like, hey, stay away from the locker room. You're not going to be around. I don't think that's the case with him. I think he'll still be there every day, getting ready. I know their trainers that they have down here are incredible. So, he'll be back, I think, quicker than normally, someone with that surgery would be back. But yeah, when I saw him a couple weeks ago, and I think it was right after surgery, he didn't look good. He looked way better the other day on the college game day, walking around. So just, credit to him for getting better and better every day. But definitely a tough loss for them. But their training camp, they haven't even started yet with. They're starting a week after everyone else. So gives him extra time to get loose and get ready.
Yeah, they're giving all the veterans a little bit extra rest, right? I mean, like you said, I don't think they're really concerned with the first few months of the season. They're just trying to get a chip in a chair. They finish in a wild card. They don't give a fuck.
Dude,
they'll go into any building.
They're not saying this. They would never say it. But it's like, Maurice is like, just give us the 8th spot. I don't care.
Take it.
Literally, we didn't have home ice in one series. Fucking crushed everyone. Doesn't fucking matter. Just get us in the playoffs, and we'll choke hold everyone out again.
I'm curious to know why it took so long for him to get the surgery. Like, is it one of those prehab type situations where they're trying to get it like fully like healed from before surgery, get the muscles going, and then perform it? Like, Jans, your internet's not great, so I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this, but do you know any information on that?
I don't know. Only thing I could think of is he got married this summer. Maybe he didn't want to do it before the wedding, but that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. Makes total sense.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense.
I totally understand what Keith's saying there. We'll stick in Florida, Biz. A little bit of redemption for you, and I believe we mentioned this in the Avery interview, but Marchand's comments about no state tax making a difference. What do you know, Biz? Biz was right again, folks. What do you know?
No comment. I'm not going to live in the past anymore.
Okay.
If that's what he thinks about the situation, that's great. I've moved on. I said my piece when I said it. I got
so Bettman has you muzzled. Bettman has muzzled you.
Awful announcing. I don't know if you follow their Twitter account, who seems to have a massive hard-on for Barstool Sports.
I know. They're really crushing Barstool.
They were just dragging me through the mud about how stupid my comments were. But once again, like, I can't take things personally anymore. I'm at peace with who I am and with what I've said. So I'm just going to continue to focus on living in the present and moving forward.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm going to be the better man for once in my life.
You were due. You were due, Biz.
Yeah, I was.
You were due. Kind of ending the pod here a little bit. Some really tough news in the hockey world.
Brutal.
I mean, you could start. Bernie Perrant passed away. I mean, talk about a legend, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Philadelphia Flyers, an all-time goalie. I had no idea until I was reading up on him that you had him in Toronto, Biz. You had him, and he's sent packing. He's in Philadelphia, and they go on to have those incredible teams, the Broad Street Bullies. But everything I've read, just what a guy he was. He was around the organization all the time. He was unbelievable on the ice, a leader, a fan favorite. Teammates loved him. Just brutal news. I don't know if you had any comment on him.
Beloved.
Yeah.
I got a couple group texts going on, people saying he was the kindest man, absolute legend. Same way we would talk about Kopitar, just the way he handles himself with everyone and just a first-class human being. He looked incredible, 80 years old. He still looked amazing, and you thought he would live for at least another 20 years, and it's such a shame. And I believe the quote is only Jesus saves more than Bernie Parent. That's kind of the famous quote, and led them, as you mentioned, to 2 Stanley Cups. So just a devastating loss in the hockey world, Whit. And even going back to last week, there was one as we were signing off after we recorded that we failed to mention as well. And also a tough summer for former goalies as Dryden passed as well, right? And Orca, how do you pronounce the last name? Weisblatt?
Yeah. That was fucking
We've talked to them about them a few times on our podcast, guys, and what their mother had been through, and her being deaf and how she raised these boys, and he was in Nanaimo last week and died in a car accident on Vancouver Island, and just as if this family hadn't been through enough, something like that happened. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, and it's just devastating news. Devastating.
That one was, I read that on Twitter. I just, in seeing the video that Hockey Night in Canada or Sportsnet had done a few years back. So they're interviewing all the brothers. All the brothers have played at high level. I believe one of the brothers made his NHL debut last year with Nashville, I think.
Yes.
And that's when the video had recirculated, because it was around 2019, 2020. And so I think seeing the story of his family and all the brothers being interviewed, it like hits even harder, because you got to know them a little bit in this 10-minute video and how close their family was, and they lose a brother to a car accident suddenly. Just, makes you sick. Makes you sick to your stomach. I just feel so sorry for that family. And that news had broken like right as we were recording, I think, last week, and it wasn't mentioned. And right after, we're like, oh my God, we gotta talk about that next week. So just our prayers and thoughts to the entire Weisblatt family, and just horrible news. There's no really other way to describe it.
Couple very difficult losses for the hockey community, and
big time. And
hard way to end the podcast, guys. And Jans, I know you skipped out there, but if there's anything you wanted to say, I know you played for the Flyers briefly. Did you ever get a chance to run into Bernie Parent and spend a little bit of time with him?
Yeah, those I will say about Philly, like the way that they keep their ex-players, the alumni, just involved and around, and their legacies going. I think it's amazing. It's similar. It's probably has to do with the old school teams, like playing for New York. You felt that way, and then Florida and Phoenix are a little different because they don't have the rich history as those teams. But those guys in Philly, man, like Clarkey, and the way they would talk about Bernie was just amazing. Like just the perfect guy that they would talk about, to have your back, to be the last line of defense that you would put your trust in every single night. And I think a guy too that went to war with those guys too, right? Wasn't just there making saves. Like he was in the thick of it. He was part of those Broad Street Bullies team where you weren't pushing them around at all. So yeah, I just love the fact about that. Like playing for that Flyers team, you really get a sense of the rich history that they have, and keeping the legends around and keeping their names and the history of what those guys did to, have the team where it is now. So yeah, special shout out to the Parent family, and everyone in the hockey community is thinking of you guys.
And we'll end it on a better note, I guess. Because it could have been another tragedy in the hockey world. And did you guys read the story about Rasmus Dahlin's wife and what she went through and what happened? Holy shit. He announced, I think he might have brought this up at camp in a press conference. I don't know when or where he gave this news, but summering, I think they were in France, him and his wife, she had like heart failure. Thank God she was getting CPR on multiple occasions for like a couple of hours at a time on life support before receiving a heart transplant. Like, thank God they were able to get the help they needed when this all went down. To have a heart transplant is insane at that age, but she's getting better. She's recovering in Sweden. She hasn't been able to, fly over and join her husband in Buffalo yet, but holy shit, is that a traumatic experience? Thank God she's okay. But a wild story reading about that, and I guess stick taps clicks to the all the EMS and all the people who helped her survive that. And to be able to get a heart transplant is just wild. So that one took me by an enormous surprise too, just hearing that that's what he'd been through all off season. Like, talk about traumatic. So thank God she's okay. But I don't know. Just crazy. You never know. Every single day. Live in the moment, guys.
Yep.
That's what I say. Every time I get anxiety, I'm going to remind every listener to get anxiety about the future, about the past. Dude, just try to live in that moment. I got what I'm doing right now. I got what I'm doing later this afternoon. That's literally, I think, the only way to really fight off true anxiety about things and appreciate what you got. So not to be sitting here giving a sermon or anything, but live in the moment. And so sorry for the family of Bernie Perrant, for the Weisblatt family and all the people going through some tough times. Hockey season's right around the corner. Chiclets Cup. Hopefully everyone comes by, enjoys the weekend, and I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be an awesome week getting together and seeing the whole crew. And thanks for listening, everyone. We got some big news coming up. That we'll share with you guys shortly. And love you all. Have a great week.